Oh yeah, guys, it's the last Sunday of full weekend of football. Let's go. Last week of the regular season. Yep, it is the NFL Week 18 season finale Sunday preview. 14 games to go through. Let's get right into this thing. Yeah, guys, last week of the regular season. Here's a preview for it. Welcome back to the Fun NFL. Of course, please like and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy the last NFL Week 18. What is it called? Season finale. Sunday preview. It's the last Sunday preview we're doing. Of course, we will get into the wild card. What is it called? Preview. That'll come out on next Saturday. And then obviously I'll have the recap on Tuesday. Yeah, I'll be away, so I won't be able to do it day by day. But I will be able to get the whole entire thing done on Tuesday. But either way, guys. With this said, this is the last Sunday preview of the year. Again, it's the last week 18 Sunday. So some of these pregame shows, not all of them, but some of them I don't think will be honest as much. Again, of course, we got NFL game day morning at 9 a.m. on, what is it called? NFL Network. That started an hour ago. Sunday NFL Countdown starts right now on ESPN. Of course, it gets through all the playoff scenarios, all that type of crap. The fantasy football pregames, if there's still fantasy football going on. I don't know if fantasy football now is going to be on this week. It might be, though. On ESPN, too, but just check for that. And obviously, fantasy football pregame will still be on a Peacock at 11 a.m. Fox will kick off, and Fox and Sunday lead you up to their doubleheader as well as the NFL, as well as that other pregame show. That starts the last 2 hours of that will go on right now on CBS Sports Network, as well as the NFL Today leading up to their doubleheader as well. Of course, we got a Football Night America and all that other crap later. But of course, NFL primetime on ESPN Plus is also at 7:30, so all the highlights of all the games will be there. Looking at the playoff picture, though, this is obviously the biggest part of all this. Of course, teams that have clinched all the divisions again. Obviously, the three divisions in the AFC have been clinched. Of course, that being the North. Two of them have been. The North and the West have been clinched. Of course, the Chiefs and Ravens are both locked into their spots. Browns are locked into the 5 seed as well. Chiefs and Bills, of course, they'll be playing tonight. We'll get into that in a second, obviously, at the end of the video. Jags and obviously the Jags a win and they win the division. Colts and Texans, of course. I don't know what happened in this game, but you'll know again if they made a playoff spot. Of course, the recap of the Saturday games as well as the Steelers, see if they still have a shot to make the playoffs. Will be coming out what's called around relatively around this time today. As well as looking at it, all these other teams are eliminated against some meaningless games as well. We'll get into a tank bowl soon as well. But looking at it here in the NFC, of course, the Niners clinched the 1 seed. Cowboys and Eagles are both trying to fight for the NFC East. The Cowboys, if they win the division. If they both lose, they win the division. If they both tie, they win the division. But if the Eagles win and the Cowboys lose, the Eagles get the division. The Lions, they already clinched the division, but they can't get the 2 seed if the Cowboys lose and they win. Rams, again, they have a meaningless game this week. Again, not meaningless, because if they do lose and the Packers win, they fall to the 7th seed in the NFC, where, again, a 7th seed has never won in the playoffs. So, again, they might be resting their starters, but they still might have they're going to still probably try to win this game. Bucs, again, win, and if they lose, they are out of the playoffs. Saints and Falcons, whoever wins that game, we'll be looking at that Bucs game, because if the Bucs lose, they get a shot. Of course, the Vikings, they need the Seahawks, they need the Saints, I think, and they need the Packers to lose to make the playoffs. As well as the Seahawks just needing the Packers, and they need to win to make the playoffs. So those two teams are, again, on thin ice. Of course, the Bears are trying to eliminate the Packers. The Giants are trying to spoil the Eagles' regular season and not give them a chance. Commanders are also looking to play spoiler against the Cowboys. Cardinals and Panthers, of course, also both trying to play spoiler as well. Getting a lot of spoilers with these teams that are eliminated. But that's really all I got for the NFL playoff picture, guys. Again, some pretty decent games on tap today. Again, 14 in total. Again, 6 games in the 1 o'clock window, 7 games in the late window, only 1 late window. There's no regional games. Of course, that was that single game last week. Of course, that being the Steelers and Seahawks, which had big playoff implications, was the last regional game of the season and that 4:05 window. Of course, Sunday night as well. But let's get right into it with our first game, which is actually a meaningless one. Browns and Bengals. Let's go. All right, guys, in one of our meaningless games of the week, we do have the Cleveland Browns, of course, locked into that 5 seed with their win last week on a Thursday against the Jets. They're not going to have really anyone start. I'll just give you a spoiler there right now. But, of course, they are locked into that 5 seed. They basically have kind of like a 2-week bye week before their playoff game against the AFC South winner. So, that'll be very interesting. Of course, they come into this game at 11-5, winners of 4 straight. And looking to sweep the Cincinnati Bengals, who, of course, come in at 8-8. They've lost back-to-back games. Of course, last week, they did score a point after in the second half, got completely shut out. Of course, their offensive line got completely dominated in that game. very ugly, and of course they are now eliminated from postseason contention because of their woeful record in conference. But then again, if they were in a different division, they probably would have a better record than this. And obviously, it's been a trying year for Cincinnati. They want to end their year on a good note and not get owned by the Browns like they have really ever since 2019. I mean 2018 to be completely honest. But this game will be at 1 o'clock on CBS, Emerald Plus, and Paramount Plus are your streaming services for this game. Announcing it will be there we go. Tom McCarthy, James Lofton, Jay Feely, and Tiffany Blackman. So CBS is like C team. That's what we call this game. I don't know why it's so slow. There we go. Looking at the map though, it will be in green, and you've got really just the Cincinnati and Cleveland area. Now much of the country's getting this game as expected, because again, it's just meaningless game. But that's really all I got for it, guys. Again, no wait, my bad. The weather. If you're at this game or you want to know what the weather is, it's gonna be cloudy, 37 degrees, 13-mile-per-hour winds. Of course, similar weather to that game back in 2019, where it was pretty crappy. So that's how I'll put it. Obviously, though, the first time these two teams played all the way back in Week 1, the Browns won 24-3. They had Joe Burrow under 150 passing yards, something like that. It was a complete blowout. Of course, now the Browns look to sweep them. We'll see if they can, of course, with DTR running the offense. That's really all I got for this game, though. Let's get right into the Browns' projected starting lineup. And for Cleveland, Joe Flacco will be running the offense. Jeff Driscoll, no, is he? I don't think he is. Well, I guess he's starting. Whatever, though. He won't be playing too much. You'll definitely see a lot more Jeff. Yeah, I think Jeff Driscoll is starting. My bad. That's really crazy, though. Holy crap, bro. Jeff Driscoll, again, that's just nuts. Whatever, though. Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb, Keem Grant Sr., Jedrick Wills, Dawson Deaton, Jack Conklin, DeJuan Jones, Maurice Hurst, Anthony Walker Jr., Del Pitt, Ryan McLeod are on IR. What happened to Anthony Walker? Oh, knee? Okay, that's not good. Okay, though. Joe Ford, Kareem Hunt in the backfield as well as Peter Strong Jr. Mark Cooper, again, probably won't play, so you'll definitely see a lot of David Bell and Cedric Tillman, maybe even James Prochet, with Michael Wood still on the non-football injury list. Or Achilles. Yeah, don't even think he'll play. Marcus Goodwin's questionable, so is Elijah Moore. I doubt they'll both play. David Njoku might play a little bit, but you'll definitely see a lot more Harrison Bryant and Jordan Akins. The offensive line, outside of, again, Joe Bitonio, Ethan Pokick, Wyatt Teller, I would definitely say you'll see a good amount of Nick Harris, Michael Dunn, and maybe even Luke Weipler. Luke Weipler, of course, the former Ohio State man. I think he was UDFA. No, he was a 6th-round pick. Okay, whatever. Luke Weipler, blah. But James Hudson and John Christian, they're really, again, maybe Larry Watson the 4th could play, but maybe they have another guy, but like right now, again, this offensive line is just really thin. Drew Forbes is out for this game, though. Myles Garrett, of course, won't play. Ogwo Okoronkwo, Alex Wright will be off the edge probably. Zadarius Smith might play the first quarter. Siaki Ika, you'll see a lot of him. Jordan Elliott and Delvin Tomlinson will probably also be out by that first quarter. JOK, you could be starting considering how much of a rhythm player he is. I don't know, Jordan Kazuschek is questionable. Matthew Adams, you'll definitely see a lot of with Sony Tony Fields, both probably only playing for a little bit. Denzel Ward, again, I would not expect him to play a lot. Martin Emerson Jr. probably will, just because, again, he's actually playing to try to qualify for the lowest passer rating allowed in the whole entire league. I think that might in as well what is called lowest amount of yards per route and separation in the slot. So you get 2 records he's trying to play for there, at least in the league this year. Cameron Mitchell, Greg Newsom's out as well as Juwan Thornhill, of course. Mike Ford is also out, so you'll definitely see a lot of Ronnie Hickman. And I don't think D'Anthony Bell's playing again for a rookie. This guy's been great this year. Well, he's basically a rookie. Jordan Harmon again could start as well. Dustin Hopkins is still out. Riley Patterson will do the kicking. Corey Borka, he's going to have to punt. James Prochet, Pierre Strong Jr. will do the returning, as well as Charlie Hewlett doing the long snapping. Bengals offense, Jake Browning, he'll be at quarterback. Aiden McCarron is his backup. Joe Burrow's on IR, as well as Devon Cochran. Well, it doesn't really matter. Like, this season's over. But whatever. What is it called? Joe Mixon, Chase Brown in the backfield. Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, Trenton Irwin, receiver. T. Higgins is doubtful. Tanner Hudson, Drew Sample, tight end. Orlando Brown Jr., Cordell Volson, Ted Karras, Alex Kappa, Jonah Williams across that offensive line. With Sam Hubbard and Trey Henderson, Joseph Osai, Cam Sample off the edge, as well as Josh Tapu and B.J. Hill at defensive tackle. Logan Wilson, Jermaine Pratt, and Akeem Davis-Gaither at linebacker. Both starting corners in this game will be both questionable, of course, with Cam Taylor-Britt probably not playing as much because, again, he just didn't, he was pretty flat last week, and also you could see he was limping on some of those plays, too. Mike Hillen will play, as well as Dax Hill and Jordan Battle at safety. Evan McPherson is your kicker. Your punter is Brad Robbins. Again, Trenton Irwin and Trayvon Williams are your returners, and Cal Adominis is your long snapper. In regards to the Browns offensively, find a whole backside off, a whole backup offensive line. That's really the goal for this team, to be completely honest, because, again, you can't have anyone get hurt on that offensive line. Get the backups in quick. So basically, this is Jeff Driscoll throwing for a positive completion percentage and yards per attempt. That means, again, probably over 5.5 for Jeff. And again, completion percentage, I'm not 55% might get it done. Of course, you look at Jeff Driscoll in his career, though. 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Again, first year. 2020, I think it was like 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 2021, he did not play. And then last year in, what was it, 1 start, he had like 1 touchdown, no interceptions, whatever though. Yeah, Jeff Driscoll, he's not like a good starter by any means, but he is mobile. He can get the ball downfield a little bit, and obviously he won't make too stupid decisions with the football. And I really think, again, getting 300 plus total yards would be a positive for this offense. But for this defense, no big plays early, and I don't think, again, that's probably the only thing, because again, you want to keep, the corners want to stay in rhythm, and maybe get a couple of big sacks too. That would just be nice, again, for momentum, and maybe having a shot to beat a team that you guys have dominated over the past couple of years. Really hard after the Browns, though. Now let's look at the Bengals. For Cincy, Jake Browning finishing the stronger to get to lock up the backup role for next year. Because again, if he does play well, Jake Browning, of course, will be their backup next year. He's had a pretty good run of it, of course, as their backup. Again, he hasn't been great. He's made some pretty bonehead decisions at times. But then again, you can't fault him for all of it, and also the fact that he's been playing behind an offensive line the past couple weeks. That has simply not been able to sustain blocks for really anything more than 2 seconds. Joe Burrow with a big game, and Joe Mixon with a big game to not get cut. Again, if Joe Mixon ends the season strong and it shows, again, pads the stats a little bit and shows I can still be a good running back. He hasn't been terrible this year. Again, you can't expect as much as you used to out of him, but again, he still was decent this year. So, again, I don't expect him to get cut, but again, to really make sure, again, you got to have a good year. And obviously, a good game, and competition between T and Tyler for who gets the contract. Obviously, Tyler Boyd and T Higgins are both going to be free agents this offseason. It'll be very interesting which one gets that contract. Defensively, obviously T Higgins is probably the guy to get it, but then again, Tyler Boyd, you really don't know about that. Bengals defense, get Miles Murphy in there. Again, he's your rookie. Again, this is a game. Again, it doesn't really matter. Again, yeah, really at all. So, again, you really just don't want to get swept. So, again, your very rare opportunity here where Murphy can get a big opportunity. Dax Hill, sub 80 rating allowed. Man, he's got to be better there. He's really struggled this year. With that this year, obviously last year didn't get any opportunities. I want to see him show a little progress. And 2 plus defensive touchdowns just for the hell of it. Time for the Falcons and Saints. In the second of 6 games in this 1 o'clock window, we've got a game that could determine the NFC South, of course, with these 7-9 Falcons coming in to face the 8-8 New Orleans Saints. Of course, both these teams, with a win, would give them a shot to win the division. Of course, that will rely on the Bucs and Panthers game. But either way, the Falcons coming in at 7-9 off of a disheartening blowout loss to the Bears on the road. But they still somehow have a chance to win the division. Of course, I think, not back-to-back losses, because they won against the, they won 2 weeks ago. Saints, on the other hand, are coming off a dominating win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, kind of in, surprising fashion, I guess. But obviously, they're a very inconsistent team. You really don't know what you're going to get out of them this week, but we'll have to wait and see. Of course, they have been a little more consistent at home than they have been on the road. This game will be at 1 o'clock on CBS. NFL Plus and Paramount Plus will be your streaming services for this game. Of course, the NFL today will probably look over this game going into it as well before it starts. Again, looking at the announcers, you got Andrew Catalon, Tiki Barber, Matt Ryan, and then, of course, AJ Ross will be the reporter for this game. Again, it is basically a B game, which does make sense. It does have some sort of playoff implications, again. All relying on that Bucs game. Looking at it, though, you look at, again, it's going to be in blue. You got, again, a good amount of the country getting this game. You got this area here. Also, this area, again, Northwest, again, for the Seahawks, also the Vikings and Packers will also be getting this game. Whole NFC North as a whole, and then obviously the Southeast, and Tampa will be getting this game too, as well as Philly. So, I don't know why Philly, but yeah, again, a good amount of the country is getting this football game, which is very interesting. Obviously, though, when they first met this season, it was a very good, strong win for the Falcons. They won 24-15, despite, again, offensively having a couple of struggles. Again, they got a pick 6 from Jesse Bates, and they gave, the Saints moved the ball a ton on the Falcons. The issue was they struggled in the red zone with 5 field goals. So, coming in this game, that's what the Saints are going to want to be able to do, get the ball in the end zone. Also, not give up as many big plays, because they will get some opportunities to make some plays in coverage. Just don't be too aggressive, because, again, Bijan could burn you. Let's get right into the Falcons now. The Falcons, Taylor Heineke's questionable start. It's really not going to make a difference, guys. Desmond Ridder starting again. It's just a complete mess there. Bijan, Tyler Algier, Cordell Patterson in the backfield. Avery Williams, Josh Ali, Matt Hennessy, Ethan Greenidge, Keith Smith, Contavious Street, Grady Jarrett, Adekangbo Ongendenji, Troy Anderson, this dude, those guys are on IR. With Drake London, Van Jefferson, and Kadero Hodge at receiver. Kyle Pitts, Jonathan Smith at tight end. Jake Matthews, Matthew Bergeron, Drew Dahlman, the starting center, will be out. So Ryan Newzill will probably start, as well as Chris Lindstrom and Caleb McGarry, rounding off that offensive line. Defensively, though, typical defensive line. The only difference is that Zach Harrison will now start, of course, with Grady Jarrett on IR. Again, it was a lot of Albert Huggins and Taquan Graham there. But, yeah, it'll be Zach Harrison this week. Again, the rookie. I think he is. Yeah, he was rookie. 3rd round pick. Damn. I know he went that high. I know he was like a really nasty run defender. But, Jesus. And he's got some sacks. Look out for him next year. But Lorenzo Carter, Budget Free, D'Antonio Malone, Arnold Ibikiti off the edge, Nate Landman, Caden Ellis at linebacker with A.J. Terrell, Clark Phillips, Jeff Okuda at corner. Mike Hughes is questionable. DeMarco Helms will be out. Richie Grant will get the start and probably get burned in coverage, as well as Jesse Bates at free safety. Their kickers, Young Haku, their punters, Bradley Pinion. What is it called? The Alfred is their punter returner. Their kick returner is Cordell Patterson with Liam McCall doing their long snapping. And for NO, Derek Carter, quarterback. Jameis Winston's his backup. Alvin Kamara's questionable. Jamal Williams, the only healthy back, actually. Eno Benjamin, this dude. Ryan Ramczyk, Trey Turner, Michael Thomas, Nafai Sewell, Andrew Dowell, Malcolm Roach, Marshawn Lattimore, all on IR. Oh, yeah, is Michael Thomas out for the rest of the year? Oh, that's great. Okay, so he had a pretty average year for a third-string receiver, I guess. How many games? Only 10 games. So, yeah, he was on track for probably, I don't know, like 800 yards. I don't know, 3-4 touchdowns, 40-something catches. Not 40-something, like 60, 70-something catches, around there. Whatever, though, Juwan Johnson's questionable. Taysom Hill will probably start at tight end, as well as Foster Moreau. Adam Prentice is your fullback. The offensive line is, as usual, Landon Young will be out, so Cameron Irving will start. Oh, Andrews Pete's starting at left tackle. That's a little weird. Oh, that's because they're bumping James Hurst back inside, which does make sense. Trevor Penning, of course, is a huge bust out of Northern Iowa. But whatever. Cam Jordan, Carl Granderson, Tano Castigan off the edge. Of course, you'll see a little bit of Peyton Turner, but again, he is questionable. Kyle Phillips, there's like 4 of those dudes. Wait, what the heck? Oh, there's 2 L's. That's the difference. Yeah, he's not very good, though. What is it called? Brian Breezy will probably start, of course, with Kalen Saunders, questionable. Nathan Shepard also at defensive tackle. P. Warner, Mario Davis, Zach Bond at linebacker with Paulson and Dable, Alontae Taylor, Isaac Yadam, and, at corner, basically. He's playing both spots, I guess. J.J. Grace, questionable. Lonnie Johnson Jr. is out. Tyron Matthew and Jonathan Abram will start at strong safety. He was actually playing a lot more corner for some reason. Whatever. He's been pretty good, though. Blake Ruby is your kicker, your punters, Lou Headley, your Sheet, your returner, and Zach Wood is your long snapper. All I want to see from the Falcons offense is basically offensively, you know what? Screw it. Go rogue on Arthur to get him fired. So basically, there's a point in this game where, I don't know, Taylor Heineke or like Bijan just screws it and just completely, they do their own thing. That is how Arthur Smith will get fired. And of course, he has made your offense look terrible this year and made you guys stuck in the mud. He should be gone. That's really the goal for this offense right now. Because honestly, if they make the playoffs, that would just be a freaking like travesty. Defensively, though, stay flat on second and short, so Derek can't layer anything, forcing him to make some improvisational decisions. Because again, he sucks at that. You look at him again; he really had that one throw a couple weeks ago where he was able to improvise. But that's literally about it. So if you force him to do that, it's just gonna be complete crap show for that Saints offense, which is exactly what you need to do. Again, stay flat there, kind of like an umbrella basically on the back end, of course, with the corners. Even if that means you'll give up a couple yards here and there, it's okay. If you make it hard on Derek Carr, to again, where he has to make decisions, what is it called, in scramble drills. Now let's look at the Saints. And for New Orleans, Chris Olave getting his 5th touchdown of the year. That's probably a pretty good goal there. Alvin going for 200 yards scrimmage game. Again, he hasn't really had that great of a season. But again, if he can get 200 yards in this game, that would probably put a good cap on it. The O-line creating over 2.5 yards before contacting the fourth quarter. They're gonna have to have a really good running game, whether it's with Jamal or it's with Alvin Kamara. They gotta give them some space. They've struggled with that all year. But again, if they're able to completely overwhelm that what is it called, injured Falcons D-line, they might have a shot there. But defensively, Marshawn and Lattimore getting targeted 5 or less times. That's on him. He's got to make sure he's blanketing these guys and making it hard for them to get open. Because if he's able to do that, he won't be stressed as much and also can worry about other stuff. Elijah Taylor with an interception, that would be good. Again, in the slot, he will get tested in this game, as well as Cam Jordan continuing to do his thing, which is basically stopping the run at this point. Because, again, he's using all his juice on a couple of those pass rushes. And get a couple sacks as well. That would be nice. That's really all I got for this game, guys. Time for a tank pull. Oh, baby, do you screw the draft pick or you keep the streak alive? It's a tank ball in Foxborough. No, wait, it'll be a snowball. Let's go! Oh, baby, we got the disastrous New York Jets wrapping up their disastrous season with a road trip to Foxborough where they have just gotten completely completely dismantled for a long time. Of course, the Patriots versus the Jets is at 15 times in a row. How many times in a row is the Broncos? Win streak versus... No, not Raiders. Broncos. 16 games. So they can tie that, the Patriots, with the longest... Well, they already have it, but, like, kind of like that. They can win. They can make it 16 straight with a win here today. But obviously, that would butcher their draft position because I have a hard time believing the Cardinals or the Commanders are ever going to really try to win those games because they want to keep their picks in their spots. So Patriots, very interesting situation again. A lot of rumors, a lot of crap. Really, no actual reports that Bill Belichick will be leaving the Patriots. But again, they're having a meeting on Monday. So yeah. But obviously, they're coming at 4-12. They've had a terrible year. Bailey Zappi will start for them. Trevor Siemian will start for the Jets, of course. Both these teams are on somewhat of a losing streak, I guess. Jets, of course, got slaughtered on Thursday night, and the Patriots, they played against the Bills. That's really the best way I can put it, because, I mean, their defense did. Their offense did not, though. They had, like, a couple good drives. That was literally it, though. Of course, this game, though, the Tank Bowl will be at 1 o'clock on CBS, NO Plus, and Paramount. Oh, no, my bad. It'll be on Fox. What the hell? But it'll be on Fox, okay. NFL Plus, Fox Sports app will be your streaming services for this Tank Bowl. But of course, it'll be more of a snowball. It'll be raining, it'll be snowing, it'll be crap. Only 35 degrees, so it's not, like, terribly cold. But, I mean, later in the game it will be. A little wind, 10 miles per hour. It'll be a little humid, too. It's going to be complete crap for this game, guys. It's not really a snowball, probably more of a slush bowl. It's going to be complete crap, though. That's how I'll put it. Of course, when the Jets traveled to Foxborough last year, if this was the score of this game last year, I would not be surprised. But the Patriots, of course, won 10-3 on a Marcus Jones game-winning punt return touchdown on the last play of the game. That would be pretty nuts if that happened again. But yeah, that's probably what will happen. But of course, they played earlier in the season, 16-10 win, or was it 15-10? I think it was 15-10. No, it was week 3. Yeah, 15-10 the Patriots won. That game was so bad. But yeah, probably a similar score to be honest, guys. But that's really all I got for this because it is a tank bowl. Again, Patriots, if they lose, they have a shot at getting the number 2 pick. The Jets, if they lose, they're gonna have a top 10 pick. So they probably want that too. Whatever though, Jets projected starting lineup. And for New York, Zach Wilson in quarterback, but of course he's out. So Trevor Siemian, Siemian. I keep messing that up. He'll be there. Brees Hall, Israel Vandekana. I guess they really don't want running backs. Garrett, Jason Brownlee, and Xavier Gibson, a receiver. I want to see what Garrett Wilson's done this year. Oh, he still has 1,000 yards. That's crazy. But 3 touchdowns that's not ideal. He's really they throw the football to. That's freaking ridiculous. Tyler Conklin was actually had a really good year, all things said. Like actually, yeah, 0 touchdowns, but like all things said, he's had a really good year at tight end. Jeremy Rucker, he has a touchdown, I think, this year. No, he doesn't. Well, he's out. Yeah, the trash offensive line, Mekhi Becton, Lakin Thompson, Joe Chipman, Max Mitchell, and Carter Warren across the offensive line. Connor McGovern, Wes Schweitzer, both on IR. Jake Hansen will be out for this game. As well as John Franklin-Myers, Jermaine Johnson off the edge, as well as Bryce Huff, of course, will be playing for a big contract. He has like 8 sacks. If he gets 2 in this game, he might have 10. So that'll be very interesting to see. Efendi Odiengbo, Quentin Jefferson, Al Woods all on IR with Quentin Williams and Solomon Thomas at defensive tackle. Solomon Thomas is his career high 5 sacks this year too. That's kind of nuts. He's actually been pretty decent as a pass rusher, all things said. Jam Sherwood, C.J. Mosley, Quincy Williams at linebacker for Quincy Williams. I wouldn't say he's fallen off. He just kind of went down to earth a little more. Bradley and Malik Hall, and Zaire Barnes, as well as Chuck Clark, and Jalvin Guidry round up the dudes on IR with Sauce, DJ Reed, and Brandon Echols, as well as Michael Carter at corner. Jordan Whitehead, Tony Adams are their safeties with Greg Zerline, Thomas Morstead at kicker and punter. Xavier Gibson is their returner, and Thomas Hennessy is their long snapper. Alright, before we get into the Patriots, I'd like to enlighten you guys on who's announcing this game. That would be Chris Myers, Robert Smith, and Jen Hale. So Fox's last team. Chris Carlin and Mike Tannenbaum will be at ESPN Radio as well, speculating about when Bill Belichick will be fired, even if he is. Again, that's just a complete rumor, guys. We really don't know yet. And on the map, it is in green, so you got New England. That's all that's getting this game, because again, it is a tank bowl. But with that said, for the Patriots starting lineup, Bailey Zappi, quarterback Mac Jones is backup. Reminder, Stevenson, Juju, Kendrick Bourne, Trey Nixon, Calvin Anderson, Tyron Williams Jr., Riley Reef, Cole Strange. Yeah, those guys. On defense, though, Daniel Akule, Raekwon McMillan, Matthew Judon, Marcus Jones, Isaiah Bolden, Therese Hall, Christian Gonzalez. Those who's on IR. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 guys on IR. On the receiver-wise, Devontae and Tyquan Thornton, as well as Matthew Slater, are all questionable. The only healthy guys are DeMario Douglas, Jalen Rager, and Keyshawn Uti. What is it called? Hunter Brown, Henry, and Trent Brown are both out. Mike Gesicki and Valerian Lowe will be projected to start, as well as Atani Mafi, David Andrews, Sidney Sell, and Mike Onwenu. Defensively, though, Juju Quash, Junior Rick, Devon Gottschall, Lawrence Guy are the defensive linemen. Christian Barmore is questionable. Fernie Jenkins is questionable, as well as Marty McCoo behind him. Chris Board, Josh Ucher, the other line, edge rushers. Blech. My bad. Jelani Tobias questionable. Mack Wilson Sr. behind him, as well as Juwan Bentley at the other middle linebacker spot. Sean Wade, Jabril Peppers, Miles Bryant, and Jalen Mills all questionable. Marco Wilson is healthy. Jonathan Jones is also questionable. Alex Austin, of course, who had the pick last year last week on Josh Allen, could start. Kyle Duggar, of course, is a healthy, strong safety. Chad Ryland is your kicker, your punter, Bryce Behringer, the only Pro Bowler on the team. Demario Douglas could start at the punt returner spot, as well as Jalen Reagor, kick returner, and Joe Cardano rounding up their roster for the last time I have to say this thing, probably forever. Let's go. And for table number 9, Jets offensively, Trevor Siemian breaking the streak. Of course, that being 15 straight wins for the Patriots. Brees Hall over 225 yards to end the season or on a bang. He's their best offensive player, there's no doubt. Again, Garrett Wilson, you could say is better, but then again, like, at least by whatever. It's fine, they're equal. And a touchdown from Garrett Wilson, too. Defensively, though, Quinn Williams using a stab to get into the grill of Cole Strange. He's not playing, so I mean, just literally run over City. So, and then swiping off what it's called off of that on certain situations to get to the quarterback even faster. But guys, the Jets defense should be able to dominate this Patriots offense. All I got for the Jets time. Now let's get to the Patriots. And for New England, Bailey Zappi throwing for over 220 yards again. Them pushing the ball downfield is paramount if they want to get anything going. Juju doing something. I don't care what he does. Oh, wait, he's out or questionable. Something like that. And having a long connection to Demario Douglas, unlike last, in week 3 when you guys won 15-10. You really had none of that. Defensively, though, Kyle Duggar finishing the season with a bang. Of course, he's been great this year. He's just got to, again, finish the season really well. Josh Uche for all those pressures. Again, he's had a rough year overall, of course, without Matt Judon. Also, having the, third highest, edge rusher, double team rate among active players, especially against the run. So we'll see how that works out this game. But again, if you can get 4 pressures, that would be good. And allow under 15 points as well to keep this game somewhat close. Again, if you want to win. That's all I got there, guys. Time for the NFC South Championship in a way, even though it's a freaking worst team in the league. Yeah, maybe a sense of deja vu, not for these teams, but in general. Of course, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can clinch the NFC South with a victory over the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. If they lose, they are out. This is again, the exact same records in the exact same, scenario as, well, not exact, but very similar to that Colts-Jaguars game 2 years ago, where the Panthers came in, already clinching, well, not clinching, technically not clinching, but whatever, basically clinching the number 1 pick, of course, with a 2-14 record. They were at home facing off against the Colts, who were 9-7 coming in, and looking to get a win, and also clinching a playoff berth. But, of course, they got blown out, and again, it was just complete domination from that defense. Of course, that game before, of course, that being for the Jaguars, they lost 50-10 to the Patriots. So, I don't know. The Panthers, of course, very embarrassing loss last week to the Jaguars, in which their owner embarrassed himself throwing a drink, of course, on a fan of the Jaguars. And, of course, now the Panthers are looking to pull off a crazy upset like those Jaguars were able to 2 years ago. But we'll wait to see if they can actually do that. Of course, the Bucs are coming off a terrible loss to the Saints, in which they just completely offensively shot themselves in the foot at least 30 times. Defensively, they got dominated in terms of the layering throws that Derek Carr put against them. They're going to really try to not have that happen to Bryce Young. Of course, the Panthers are just a terrible year. Of course, they don't even have the number 1 pick because they traded it for the guy who is going to have to play his butt off if he wants to show any sort of life for next year. But obviously, the Bucs again winning it. Again, this game will be at 1 o'clock on Fox, Sports Depth, and NFL Plus are streaming services for this big game. Announcing it will be Kenny Howard, Jonathan Vilman, Shannon Fake. So again, it will be their B team, which is rare for the Panthers. The map, though, it will be, the game will be in blue. You got all the Southeast getting this game, as well as part of Philly and stuff like that. Again, the Eagles will probably be playing them next week, again, if they do win, as well as this area in blue. Again, the Eagles, again, wanting to see who they probably will play. And then obviously in Charlotte, the weather, 14 mile per hour wind, so it's kind of really windy. Partly cloudy and 52 miles per hour, 52 degrees. Very similar to that Week 8 game. I'm just saying. Of course, the Panthers are going to look to try to get their first lead in the fourth quarter, act legitimately. We'll see if they can. With all that said, though, time for the Bucs projected starting lineup. And for Tampa, Baker Mayfield's questionable. Kyle Trask behind him, as well as Rashad White and Chase Edmonds in the backfield. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, healthy. Trey Palmer's questionable, as well as Raheem Garrett and David Moore at receiver. Russell Gage, Mike Green, those are the only two guys on our Kate on. Tight end Kokeef, again, is questionable. Tristan Wirfs, Aaron Steedy, Robert Hainsey, Cody Mouch, Luke Gedeke across the offensive line. Ryan Jensen, my bet, is also on IR. Kalash Canty, Vita Vea, Logan Hall across the defensive line. With Yaya Diaby, who has exploded the past couple weeks with 6.5 sacks in the past 3 games, I think, something like that. Devin White, Levante David, Shaq Barrett, Joe Tryon, and Anthony Nelson off the edge. Of course, KJ Britt is doubtful as well as Cam Gill questionable. Jamel Dean, Zion McCollum, Carlton Davis questionable. Christian Izine, the other corner. Right, Anthony Winslow Jr. and Ryan Neal at safety. Their kickers Chase McLaughlin. Their punters Jake Camarda, Devin Tompkins is a returner, and Zach Triner is their long snapper. And for the Panthers, Bryce Young at quarterback, Andy Dalton is his backup, Chuba and Miles Sanders in the backfield, as well as Adam Thielen, DJ Chark, Amir Smith, Marset at receiver, Jonathan Mingle, Laviska Shenault Jr., Justin McCray, Giovanni Ricci, Brady Christensen, what do they call it? Henry Anderson, Chandler Wooden, Claudin Churlius, something like that, Shaq Thompson, Mari Barno, DeCarpio Boodle, Luiahai, Villan are on IR, as well as looking at this defense, you do have what is called Deshaun Williams, Shy Tuttle. Wait, I didn't go through everyone. My bad. Whatever, though. Tommy Trumbull, tight end. Ikem Ukwanu. Cade Mace is doubtful. So, Ilm Manning. This is a name out of Hawaii. All right, bro. Never heard of you, but okay, you're probably going to start. We'll see what you can do, man. Bradley Bozeman, Gabe Jackson, and Taylor Moan around at the offensive line with Deshaun Williams, Shy Tuttle, Derek Brown. Again, all the normal guys across the defensive line. With Brian Burns, what is it called? Frankie Louvu off the... No, not Frankie Louvu. Uchurgos Matos off the edge, as well as Marcus Saint Sr. being out. Again, you'll see a lot of DJ Johnson. Tay Davis is questionable, as well as Deion Jones and Frankie Louvu at middle linebacker. Donde Jackson, Jeremy Chin, Shaq Raven at corner. JC Horn is questionable, as well as Xavier Woods and Von Bell at safety. What is it called? Eddie Pinheiro is doubtful. Matthew Wright will be doing the kicking. Who did he kick for? Why am I just, like, blanking on who he kicked for? Because he has kicked in the league before. Oh, it's the Steelers. Duh. Oh, yeah, he was bad with the Steelers. Yeah, wait, no, he actually did get field goal percentage. What the hell? Whatever. He didn't, like, he did miss. Oh, wait, did he miss an extra point? I swear he did. Oh, he did miss one. Whatever. It was sometime. He was bad. Whatever, though. He'll be their kicker, as well as Johnny Hecker doing their punting. Of course, Amir Smith-Marset, Rasheem Blackshear are your returners, and J.J. Jansen's your long snapper. Alright, what is it called? For this Bucs offense, get to a faster start than last week. Obviously, they didn't really get anything going until that fourth quarter. Big finding ways to hit his guys and stride over the middle. He was able to do that again in the fourth quarter last week, but for the rest of the game, he wasn't able to. Chris Godwin, 5 what is called first quarter targets. Again, he'll be seeing a lot of what is it called? Match coverage, which of course means he will be basically one-on-one for most of these matchups. Again, they might switch it up a little bit, but again, with those match coverages, he's got to take advantage of them. And of course, Rashad White, I'm bringing the juice on third down as well. He just didn't have it last week. That's what Rashad White brings a lot. I want to see him be able to convert those third downs for first downs. Bucs defense, don't put Elijah in conflicting run fits where he has to shed a block out of a 3-tech right off the gun. Again, he's just not going to be able to do that because, again, he does have a good jump. But when guys are just becoming full bore on him, he's not going to be able to, again, wait, should I go outside or inside? He just doesn't have, like, the processing ability right now to, again, be able to do that. Jamel Dean, extremely aggressive on second and short when jumping routes. Again, he can do whatever the heck he wants there, but he will get some good chances there. Again, he might be able to pick one off and go to the house with it. And 3+4 turnovers will give you a good shot, unlike last year, because again, you guys lost 21-3. Again, this offense for the Panthers won't be able to do much, but again, if you're able to again force some turnovers, you'll help out your offense a lot. Now let's look at the Panthers. Alright, for Carolina, Bryce finding receivers early in the progression so he doesn't get dumped. He'll get dumped anyway, but again, if he gets the ball out quick, he might not get dumped as much. Miles Sanders running for multiple first downs. Again, he's got to be consistent and a +10 over expected run game success rate up front. Of course, that basically means the offensive line and every down is giving them the proper, what is it called, amount of like basically yardage base created to give the runners enough yards to again get that first down or again get a successful run on either first, second, or third down. But they got a +10 expected rate because they're around like 43%. If they can get that over 50, which is around league average, they should be good. But for this defense, J.C. Horn with a big interception, that would be really good. Again, that's more momentum than anything. Brian Burns balling to balling to the padded stats for free agency. Again, he wants the big payday. If he has some sacks in this game, it'll really help out his case. And of course, a couple of blitzes on second and third down as well. They got to really dial up because they really have nothing to lose in this game. But that's all I got for the Panthers, guys. Let's get into a very interesting Vikings and Lions game, which will be the first game of this Fox doubleheader. Vikings need a hell of a lot of things to happen to make the playoffs. The Lions need a hell of a lot of things to happen or actually not as many, but they need something to happen to get that 2 seed. Whatever, though, it's the first game of this doubleheader. Should be a doozy on this Sunday. And in the first national game here previewing this week, is the NFL on Fox Week 18 doubleheader game 1, of course, season finale week. The Vikings are looking to keep, again, their very slim playoff hopes alive with a win against the Detroit Lions, who are pissed off. Of course, the hungry Lions are looking to get a dominating win before there's more than likely they will face either again the Rams or the division rival Packers next week. But again, with a dominating win in a game like this will really set the tone for the playoffs, or they can just sit their starters and stay in the 3 slot. Whatever though, they come in at 11-5, of course, the NFC North champions. Again, last week they got screwed out of a call because Brad Allen did not know what the hell he was doing with the eligible receiver, and they ended up losing 20-19 because again, that's what they do, guys. They go for it, and if they don't get it, well, yeah, that's what happens. So again, you gotta respect them for that. But obviously, the Vikings are coming off a absolutely just embarrassing blowout, butt kicking loss to the Packers, and of course, which basically knocks them out of the playoffs. But then they're still alive, maybe. I guess Nick Mullins putting up some numbers. We'll see though. Again, this game will be at 1 o'clock on Fox, the Fox Sports app, and NFL Plus are streaming services for this game. Looking at the announcers for the game, it'll be Joe Davis, Gerald Johnson, Pam Albert. Don't ask me why Fox chose this to be their national game in the doubleheader windows. But yeah, that's just what they wanted to do. Josh Apple and Mark Carrier will be calling it. They'll be calling it for They'll be going on Sports US Radio. And then, of course, we look at the map. It will be in red. Most of the countries getting this game, of course, kind of just stops right here. But, again, a lot of the countries getting this game because it is kind of a big game, I guess. Could have some playoff implicating moments here. Of course, setting us up the stage for the later window. But, of course, that's really all I got for this game. Of course, they played back in Week 16 where the Lions clinched the division, of course, with a 30-24 win, in which, again, last time the Lions played the Vikings, Nick almost threw for over 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, of course, those 4 interceptions. See if it's a similar type of entertaining game. We'll have to wait and see, though, of course, because Detroit has had some very good Week 18 games, or late season games over the past couple of years. Let's get right into the Vikings projected starting lineup, though. And for the Vikings, Nick Mullins at quarterback, Josh Dobbs is on the backup. Kirk Cousins, Cam Akers, T.J. Hockenson, Olazmio Oda, Dean Lauer, James Lynch, G.J. Wana, Liam Konechny, Troy Anderson, Marcus Davenport on IR, with Ty Chandler and Alex Madison in the backfield. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, KJ Osborne receiver, Jalen Naylor, and Malik Knowles are both out. Johnny Mutt is their tight end. CJ Ham is their fullback. 3 of their offensive linemen are either questionable or out. David Questenberry will most definitely start at right tackle. Hakeem Adeniji could start at left tackle. Because, again, he's not playing right tackle. I guarantee you that. Dalton Risner, Garrett Bradbury. Again, we can see Blake Brandon with, again, Eddie from questionable. Jaquel Roy is out. Sheldon Roy will probably start, or GT Smith, or Curtis Tungle. We'll see what they do there. Of course, Harrison Phillips and Jonathan Ballard are both healthy, though. Daniil Hunter, Pat Jones, and Andre Carter off the edge with Ivan Pace and Jordan, Hicks at linebacker. As well as Pat Jones off the edge. Caleb Evans, Anthony Booth Jr., and Najee Thompson with the healthy corners. Byron Murphy and Mekhi Blackman are both out. Theo Jackson's also out. Cam Bynum and Harrison Smith at safety, as well as Greg Joseph at kicker. Their punter is Ryan Wright. Brandon Powell, Keenan Wango at returner, and Andrew Pola is their long snapper. And for Detroit, Jared Goff, quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater is his backup. David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield. Jonathan Knight, Nate Suffield, Shane Zylstra, Matt Nelson, Haba Vaitai, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who might be back soon. James Hurst, James Houston, Emmanuel Mosley, and William McNeil on IR. With Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds, Khalil Herman, receiver Jameson Williams is out. Sam Laporte, tight end. Brock Wright is also out. Taylor Decker, Jordan Jackson, Frank Redden, Quinn Glasgow, Panay Sewell, which I guarantee you will be their starting offensive line next week. Aiden Hutchinson, Le'Veon Wazirki, Benito Jones is questionable with Broderick Martin behind him. Jack Campbell, Jack Campbell, Alex Anzalone, Derek Barnes at linebacker, Cameron Sutton, Kendall Vildor, Khalil Dorsey, and Brian Branch at corner, as well as Kirby Joseph, Vanny Malafanu at safety. Michael Bagley is your kicker, your punter. Jack Fox, Clay Raymond, Craig Reynolds are your returners, and Jake McQuaid is your long snapper. And for the Vikings, Nick Mullins throwing for over 500 yards and 5 interceptions. That would be awesome. Just to go for over 200 yards in Detroit like he did last year. Run the ball once, literally just one time. And put up 35 points. And, yeah, again, end your season on some sort of, a bang, I guess. It doesn't have to be good, but, again, just have some, big numbers. Defensively, though, Cam Bynum being extremely aware of the boundary. Again, they'll get a lot of throws there, especially with, Byron Murphy out. He's got to be very good there. Harrison Phillips getting 4+ run stops. He's got to be a key there guy, of course, up the middle. And Ivan Pace Jr. seeing the O-line's blocking for him before reacting, which is very risky, but with a guy like him who can get off blocks very easily and takes them on very well. Again, if he's able to see what they're trying to do as it's forming, he'll really be able to diagnose it very quickly and very well and stop the run before it's a successful run, 5 or 6 yards. Now let's look at the Lions. And for Detroit, Jared Goff letting it fly. I want to see him take some shots for sure in this game. 30-plus team rushing attempts. They got to run the ball a lot. They didn't do that nearly as much as I'd wanted them to last week, at least at the end of the game. Amon-Ra St. Brown getting 1,500 yards on the year. That would be really good. Again, he only needs 114, something like that, yards to do it. And get Frank Ragnow out of the game by the fourth quarter. Again, you want to talk about how, again, the Lions aren't. Again, Dan Campbell's not resting his dudes, but he's got to get Frank Ragnow out of the game so he does not get hurt. You're going to need him a lot next week in one way or another because, again, they're going to have some big dudes on whatever team they play. They're going to be just disruptive up the middle. He's a guy you can get plus there and really help balance that out. He's got to be healthy for next week. Defensively, though, Aiden Hutchinson getting 12 sacks on the year. Again, he only think he needs 2 or 1.5, one of those. But yeah, I think he can do that. Cam Sutton winning consistently on an island. Again, that's what they're going to need from him next week, too. Because, again, they got a lot of other stuff to worry about. He's got to be able to show, I'm confident right now. I'm doing my thing. And Kirby, what is it called? Fixating on making Justin win laterally, then vertically when he's in an inside leverage package. Of course, that means when Kirby Joseph is trying to get him outside because, again, if he has to win laterally and then up the field, Kirby has the speed and the reactions and fluidity to get up there and stop him from making plays. Again, if you can just win vertically then laterally, that's where he kills you. You have to make him win laterally first, then you can go with him vertically because that's how they're gonna minimize his effectiveness in this football game. That is all I got for the Lions. Time for our second and last game in the 1 o'clock window. Of course, this being a national one as well. Well, this might not be the AFC South Championship like last year, but for the Jaguars, they need a win to get in the playoffs, more than likely. But let's go with the AFC South clinching scenario for the Jaguars in front of the whole country. Yep, first game of the CBS doubleheader. And the Jags head to Nashville, finishing up their season series, of course, in the last game of the regular season. Also, yeah, casually, I don't know, it's not that big of a deal. They just gotta kind of like win to get in the playoffs. Of course, they are 9-7, looking to get their to make a back-to-back AFC South titles after back-to-back #1 pick years. So yeah, pretty big turnaround. But of course, it's been a wild year for the Jaguars. Starting out 1-2, of course, getting slaughtered by the Texans at home in that Week 3 game, winning their next 5, and then ending up being 8-3 through 11 games. Firmly in a chance to get that #1 seed. Then, of course, they lost 4 in a row. Before last week, where they made David Tepper really mad. That's the best way I can put it. Their defense, it was actually hasn't again after that game against the Browns. They've actually been pretty decent overall. Of course, I wouldn't even say they were that bad against the Browns, to be completely honest either. So again, after that, I really think they did figure it out after that game against the Bengals, where they got completely torched. But again, they've been pretty decent. But yeah, then again, they are 9-7 coming in, and they need to win to make the playoffs. Titans, on the other hand, yeah, it's basically spoiler at this point. Again, they look dead this season. It's been a rough year in every way possible. Of course, Brian Tannehill sucked. Yeah, Derrick Henry has had his worst year as a Titan since 2018. And of course, yeah, this team they're done. But you never know. Who knows? Maybe they put on a show for their home crowd. In probably the last game of the Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry show. But either way, this game will be at 1 o'clock on CBS, NFL Plus, and Paramount Plus are streaming services for this football game. Again, it is the NFL on CBS doubleheader game 1. Announcing will be CBS's third team because, well, freaking broadcasting schedules. Kevin Harlan on Trent Green, Melanie Collins on the call with Cup is Media, having Mike Morgan and Brian Baldinger on the call. Of course, with, oh god, this is not good. Of course, with, what is it called? Looking at the map, you got all red, a lot of red on this schedule. Of course, you got all here, blah, 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 blah. A lot of the countries getting this game because, again, it is the national game. The weather in Nashville, it will be 44 degrees, a good amount of wind at 12 miles per hour. Also mostly cloudy, so decent weather for this football game. Of course, the first time that these two teams met was way back in Week 11, and it was a dominating Jaguars win, 34-14. Trevor Lawrence had 3 touchdowns. He looked really good. This defense was really good. It was, again, complete blowout. See if it's a similar game. Well, again, the Jaguars need to win this to make the playoffs more likely than not. Let's get right into the Jaguars starting lineup now. And for Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence is questionable again. Iffy. He might play. Again, he probably should, though. C.J. Beathard will start if he can't go, though. Travis Etienne Jr., Tank Bigsby in the backfield. Calvin Ridley, Tim Jones, Parker Washington, receivers. Zay Jones, of course, is questionable. Christian Kirk, Jalen Moore, Cooper Hodges, Ventrell Miller, Daniel Thomas, and Christian Braswell all still on IR, of course, with Jamal Agnew out. Evan Ingram and Luke Farrell at tight end. Cam Robinson, Urza Cleveland, Tyler Shatley, Brandon Scherf, Anton Harrison are the offensive linemen. Adam Gotsis, Lorenzo Faticasi, Roy Robertson Harris across the defensive line with Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker off the edge, Voice Luakong, and Devin Lloyd at linebacker, of course, with Tyson Campbell, Trey Herndon, and Darius Williams at corner, Andre Sisco, Rayshon Jenkins at safety. Brandon McManus is their kicker. Their punters, Logan Cook, of course, Parker Washington, Dearness Johnson will be returning with Ross Matajik out. No, my bad about Ross Madison. He'll actually play. Whatever though. Ryan Tannehill, I guess will start. Yeah, Will Levis. He's questionable with the foot injury. I don't know. I'm gonna say he's probably not gonna play, but we'll see. Derrick Henry, Tajay Spears are running back with DeAndre Hopkins, what is called Traylon Burks, and Chris Moore, receiver. Colin Dowell is out. Hassan Haskins, Kyrus Jackson, Nick Westbrook, Josh Wiley injured, Nicholas Petit-Frere, Shaq Brown, Jeffrey Simmons, Kyle Pecco, Jack Amos, Luke Gifford, Joe Jones, Chance Campbell, Amani Hooker, Christian Fulton, Julius Chestnut, Ryan Stonehouse, all on IR with DeAndre Hopkins. No, I already got him. Chizikakwa, tight end, Kevin Rader, and Jalen Duncan, as well as Daniel Brunskill, are all questionable. You'll see a lot of Andre Dillard, of course, starting at left tackle this week, as well as Peter Skronsky, Aaron Brewer, Andrew, whatever this guy's name will start, and Dylan Raditz, who got completely burned last week at right tackle. TK McLennan Jr. is out for this game. You'll probably see Marlon Davidson starting, as well as Jaleel Johnson and Nico Autry. Harold Landry, Rashad Weaver, and Arden Key off the edge. Caleb Murphy is questionable. Garrett Wallow and Aziz Al-Shire at linebacker. Sean Murphy, Montague, Roger McCreary, and Eric Garror at corner. Caleb Farley's out, as well as Anthony Kendall. Elijah Molden and Kayvon Wallace at safety. Nick Folk is your kicker, your punter. Ty Zentner. Eric Garror, Tajay Spears at returner, and Morgan Cox is your long snapper. For the Jags offense, Travis Etienne Jr. going crazy with a 200-yard game for fantasy for me, I guess. Calvin Ridley running flatter and quicker, developing routes. That's really just for, again, Trevor and CJ to be able to get the ball out quicker. Because, again, he does get open either way. But it's more the fact that, again, this is a much more friendly pass when he's able to run a lot, again, more smooth routes. Because his routes are just choppy right now. And, of course, 25 plus points as well. That's how they'll keep this game out of reach. Defensively, though, Tyson Campbell, knowing he's got to be able to win vertically. Again, he can't just be like, oh, I might be able to. Like, nah, that's what I got to sit back on. Again, I got that in my back pocket, whatever happens. For Isaiah Lugon with 10 plus tackles as well as usual. And Florenzo Faticasi did not spell that right. With a 90+% run stop win rate. He's got to be a monster. You saw it last week. This defense looked awesome when he was playing like that. If he's able to do that again, no one's going to run the ball on him. Not even, Derrick Henry. Time for the Titans. And for Tennessee, don't shoot yourselves in the foot early. That's obvious. You're gonna get down. You don't want to have to throw the football. Peter Skronsky taking advantage of rare opportunities, hard cuts on the first step. That's how he gets off the line quick. Again, I don't know why Roy does that, but I guess it works for him. Again, Peter absorbing that quickly will make it a lot easier to predict the moves that he'll have to be able to use. Because again, rare opportunities does not have a very diverse toolbox. It's tough to when he does get stuff going though. So if you're Peter Skronsky, again, just get on him quick and make it harder for him to use his moves. And as well, 4+ touchdowns as well. They got to be able to score good points, guys. It's simple as that. Defensively, stop focusing on blowing up the run and actually keep on the integrity of the corners, setting the edge. Again, it doesn't matter if you can do whatever the hell you want up the middle. Again, if they can get the ball to the edge, you're screwed. Again, the corner's got to be much better tackles. And Eric Garror does get on the edge and steps up, but that's not enough. He's got to actually make plays there. Of course, Caleb Farley, I don't know what to say about him, but he's got to do something. No, that was Christian Fulton. Whatever, though. Now let's get a late window. Yeah, Chiefs, Chargers, meaningless game. Alright, and the Chiefs and Chargers will go at it this, what is called today, of course, at 4:25. We're now getting into the late window. 7 games in the late window. We only had 5 last year and 6 the year before that. So, the most since way back in 2020, where I think there was 8, maybe 7. There might have been 8. I think there actually was 8. Yeah, wait. They might have been 8, right? Well, let me think. 17 schedule, 2020. There we go. Alright. Let me think. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. There were 8 games at 1 o'clock in the 1 o'clock window in 20. Because they had 8 games and they had 7. Then they had 1. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, 2020 there was 8. So most sense then. But either way, first Chiefs coming in at 10-6 off of a pretty solid win against the Bengals. Of course, clinching the AFC West. And yeah, they're locked in that 3 slot. They really want whoever the heck wins the AFC East to get upset in that first round of the playoffs. Probably that's really all they're thinking about. And as well, of course, winning their game too, because that's probably more important. But of course, coming at 10-6, 8 straight year they've won the AFC West. Yeah, this game's pretty meaningless for them. Chargers, I guess playing for pride, but again, they've been competitive the past 2 weeks at least. But yeah. Of course, they're also playing for a draft pick, so both sides really not much to play for. They are coming off a pretty disheartening loss in an ugly game against the Broncos, 16-9. Also nice. But whatever. This game will be at 4:25 on CBS, NML Plus, and Paramount Plus, where we will be your streaming service for if you want to watch this game, I guess. Who knows? It might be entertaining. Announcing this game, though, will be Spiro Diaz, Adam Archuleta, and DT King of Ball. So it is CBS's, 5th team. It's definitely a C game for sure, though. There we go. I'll get to that. But obviously, with that said, we got to get into the map. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. That's the right one. It's in green. It's the Kansas City area in the middle of the country, basically. That might be a question mark. Whatever, though. And also, you got this area here. SoCal that's getting this game. Not really Southern, but like SoCal. That's what's getting this game. Really nothing but another country, because again, this game is a complete snooze fest. But I mean, they did play back in Week 7, and the Chiefs kind of spanked the Chargers with a 31-17 win, in which Mahomes threw 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. You definitely won't see that today in this game, though, because he ain't starting. For more on that, let's get right into the Chiefs lineup. Yeah, Mahomes, of course, won't be playing because, again, this game is meaningless. So, yeah, Blaine Gabbert will be getting the start. I'm not putting it out of the possibility that, again, Chris Olave could get in. Isaiah Pacheco, probably not playing either. You'll see a lot of Michael P. Ryan and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. What happened to Jared McKinnon, though? Groin? Oh, I don't know what the hell happened to him. Okay, he's probably not going to be back for a while, though. Rashee Rice, Kadarius Toney won't be, again, well, that already makes sense. But Rashee Rice won't play because, again, he's their #1 guy, as well as probably Travis Kelce. He might play a little bit, but I doubt Travis Kelce will be out there anything more than the first quarter. Justin Watson, though, you'll definitely see a lot of Justin Watson, McCall Harvey receiver, though. Again, the other guys, Richie James probably too, but again, a lot of Justin Ross, a lot of McCall Harvey Jr. MVS and Justin Watson will probably be on the bench anyway, though. Sky Moore, Nicky Remigio, Prince Tigo Wagano, Jody Fortson, Brian Cook, Najee Johnson, those dudes are on IR. With Don Smith being out, you'll see a lot of Wanya Morris, Joe Chudy, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, and Juwan Taylor across the offensive line. George Karlaftis is questionable. Felix Andugi Uzama is behind him. Charles Emmanuel will definitely get some snaps, as well as Malik Herring and PJ Hill. You definitely won't see anything of Mike Dana. Chris Jones probably not actually play the first half. I wouldn't be surprised there. He usually, again, doesn't fare well when he has to go off the bye. Look at how he played that division round the last time the Chiefs had a situation like that. Or last year, again, no, last year he was okay. But then again, he did play in Week 18. But like Week 17 of 2020, he was really flat again in that game against the Browns. Derek Nottie, though, he'll start at defensive tackle as well. Willie Gay, Nick Boland's questionable. Leo Chanel behind him, as well as Drew Tranquillo, linebacker. Legere Seed is out for obvious reasons. Trent McDuffie probably won't play either. Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams in corner. I wonder, is Trent McDuffie just straight up injured? Yeah, it's his shoulder. He banged it up. So that isn't just because, again, he's resting like Legere Seed is. Yeah, they say it's calf. No, he's resting. But Justin Reed and Mike Edwards at safety. Harrison Butker is their kicker, as well as Tommy Townsend at punter. Richie James is the returner, and James Winchester is their long snapper. For the Chargers, Easton Stick at quarterback, Will Grier behind him. What is it called? Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, Will Clapp, Andrew Trainer, Zach Bailey, Joey Bosa, Tanner Muse, Chris Rump, this dude, and Raheem Lane on IR. With what is called Austin Eckler, Isaiah Spiller in the backfield. Keenan Allen's out. You'll see a lot of Alex Harrison, Joshua Palmer, and Quentin Johnson at receiver. Gerald Everett at tight end. Stone Smart's questionable. What's called Rashawn Slater, Zion Johnson's doubtful. Jordan McFadden behind him. Corey Linsley's also out. Cameron Tom, Jamari Sallier, and Trey Pipkins round out that offensive line with Nick Williams out. You see a lot of Morgan Fox. Austin, Johnson, and Odie Agmania across the defensive line. Tuli Tubelotu's questionable. Kenneth Murray Jr. is doubtful. Darian Henley and Eric Kendrick are the other linebackers. Of course, with Andrew Farmer, Justin Hollins is out, and Khalil Mack off the edge. Michael Davis, Asante Samuel Jr., and Sing Bassey at corner. Deane Leonard's questionable. Again, Justin Hollins is out for this game. Both safeties, as usual, are there. Again, Cameron Dicker is your kicker. Your punters, J.K. Scott. Darius Davis is your returner. And Josh Harris is your long snapper. Chiefs offensively don't get shut out. That's just because, again, you don't want to have, like, 15 points per game. Because, again, this would really skew it. Again, just don't get shut out. Yeah, I'm not confident, though, guys. Definitely not in Blaine Gabbert. Again, that one game against the Bears, he was bad. But defensively, keep Austin Eckler on the C-gap and out. Yeah, you really want him just to, again, hit with his cooked turtle legs to just, again, go to the outside. And crap on the slot receiver, who the hell that's going to be. Probably Alex Erickson. They're not going to be able to run routes because then you have the corners that are just going to maul him. That's really all I have to do, though, defensively. Probably keep him under 20 anyway. Let's look at the Chargers now. And for LA, Easton Stick going for 230-plus yards, 2 touchdowns, and over 70% completion percentage. Again, he's been pretty capable as of late in his 3 starts, but again, God, that's ugly. In a game like this, though, he's got to be able to just, again, be able to decimate this defense somewhat, at least. I want to see what he can do. Defensively, though, Austin Eckler, 100-plus total yards. He's got, again, just a decent game into the season, please, bro. And Quentin Johnson, 4-plus catches. Again, he's such a bust, but I don't know, do something, I guess. Defensively, though, Khalil Mack and Derwin James having fun against Blaine Gabbert. That'll be interesting. And, of course, under 300 total yards allowed, because that would be very embarrassing, even though your defense is still trash. So, all I got for the Chargers, guys. Time for the Eagles and Giants. This game is spoiler galore. All right, the Eagles travel to MetLife to finish their regular season, of course, still having very slim hopes to win the NFC East. Of course, they need a Cowboys loss in, what is it called? Oh, God, that's a good stretch. Oh, my God. in FedEx Field. Like last year, and of course, they need to also win and take care of business against the Giants team, where they almost lost to back in Week 16. Of course, final score was 33-25. And this Eagles team has looked like complete fraud since that Thanksgiving weekend win in overtime versus the Buffalo Bills. Of course, they come in at 11-5, loses 4 of their last 5. Of course, after that 10-1 start, choking not only the number 1 seed away, but also this division lead where they had a 2-game lead in that. This looks very similar to that Cardinals team back in 2019. But, I mean, not 2019, 2021. So, I wouldn't be even surprised if the Cowboys lose that game. So, yeah, we'll see, though. Giants, they're trying to play spoiler again. It's been a rough season. They did bring the Rams all the way down to the wire. But, since, again, they're a bad team, they choked that away. And Mason Crosby really sucked. But, again, we'll see what happens. This game will be at 4:25 on CBS, and we'll plus some Paramount plus other streaming services for this game. Announcing it will be ironically the people who called the what is called the Eagles clinching the number 1 seed last year in Week 18. Ian Eagles, Charles Davis, and Adam Washburn. Also against the Giants. As well as that, again, this will be a very interesting game for that. Oh god, this is just a complete mess right now. There we go. All right, the map though, yeah, it'll be in blue. So all of Dallas and Houston's getting this game. Also, you're gonna see a lot of Oklahoma getting the game, and all the Northeast is getting this game all the way down into, I guess, Virginia. So that'll be very interesting. A lot of countries getting this game, of course. On CBS, and also looking at the weather in East Rutherford, it'll be 37 degrees, cloudy, not snowing. It'll snow like here, yeah. But it'll be pretty cleared up. Again, it'll probably have a good amount of snow still there. But, again, not actual snow. But, yeah, again, wild games going on. A little bit of wind, too. So, pretty rough weather overall. Nothing terrible, but it's still not very good, of course. When they played Week 18 last year, of course, Kenny Galladay caught that crazy touchdown. But outside of that, I mean, the Eagles just kind of took care of business. With that said, though, time for the Eagles' projected starting lineup. For the Eagles, Jalen at quarterback. DeAndre Swift is questionable. Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott behind him, as well as A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, and Lamed Gias at receiver. Devontae Smith will be out for this game. Dallas Goedert, Jack Stoll at tight end. Albert Okwuegbunam, Ryder Johnson, N'Kobe Dean, Zach McPherson, and Justin Evans on IR. With Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Jason Kelsey, Cam Jurgens, and Lane Johnson across the offensive line. Brandon Graham, Joshua Hassan Reddick off the edge. Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis at linebacker with Zach Cunningham and Shaq Griffin at linebacker. Of course, Nolan Smith, I guess, is playing middle linebacker now. I don't know what's going on there. But James Bradbury, Kelly Ringo, and Vontae Maddox are at corner with Darius Slay out. Reed Blankenship, Kevin Byard are their safeties. Jake Elliott is their kicker. Their punter is Braden Mann. Braden Covey and Boston Scott are their returners. And Rick Lovato is their long snapper. Alright, for the Giants, Tyrod at quarterback, Tommy DeVito behind him, Daniel Jones, Bryce Ford Wheaton, Lawrence Cager, Joshua Zudu, J.C. Eisenhower, Chandler View, my bad, Evan Neal, Tyree Phillips, Gerard Davis, and Randy Bullock, as well as Graham Glasgow and Gary Brightwell are all on IR. Saquon, Matt Breida in the backfield, Darius Slade, Warren Robinson, Jalen Hyatt at receiver, Darren Waller, Daniel Bellinger at tight end, Andrew Thomas, Justin Pugh, John Michael Schmitz Jr. is questionable. Man Bredesen behind him. I know my Mark Lewinsky. I don't know. Someone will start at center, as well as Matt Pert rounding up that offensive line. What's called Ashawn Robinson, Dexter Lawrence, Jahad Ward are your defensive linemen. With Aziz Al-Shire, what is it called? Kayvon Thibodeau off the edge, as well as Bobby Okereke and Cam Brown at linebacker, as well as Justin Simmons. Jason Pinnock is out. Dane Bellin will probably start, as well as Xavier McKinney. Adoree Jackson, Trey Hawkins, Nick McLeod at corner. Deontay Banks is doubtful. Mason Crosby is your kicker, your punters, Jamie Gillen, Gunnar Olszewski, Paris Campbell, your returners, and Casey Kreider is your long snapper. And for Philly, score 20 plus in the second half. Please score points in the second half, because again, last week was hilarious. 220 plus team rushing yards. You got to get back to the running game if you're going to have successful playoffs. Jalen over 200 yards in winning by 3 scores. They've seen a dominant offensive day. So that's the simple truth about it. There's no excuses. Defensively, don't give up the big play in the case of Reed Blankenship and Kevin Byard. They both have been bad this year. Overall, it's been tough seasons for them. Again, Reed Blankenship might be a very good run supporter, but he is trash in coverage. So please figure out a way to not give big plays. Nicholas Morrell gaining depth before trying to prevent big yak yards. Because again, if he doesn't gain depth, it's going to be over his head. And it's going to be big yak yards anyway. And they're going to have to get a lot of pressure, which they should be able to get. Because this Giants offensive line is not very good. Speaking of that, let's get into the Giants. Alright, Giants offense, a lot of deception would be nice. But again, don't get behind the sticks as well, because again, that deception just straight up won't work. The run game needs to be behind Andrew Thomas, because to be completely honest, I don't really trust anybody else when it comes to blocking anything. And 6+ design, a run/scrambles for Tyrod Taylor. Take some risk with that, bro. You can get the offense rolling. Our 85 team rating against in the 15-20 yard range on the boundary. They got a big place there. Again, you look at their performance back in Week 16 on Christmas Day against the Eagles. That's where they struggled. And make Jalen roll out and then up on third down, because again, that does take a little longer for those routes to develop. So that actually might, you think you're playing into that the offense's hands because you're not actually, because you actually have some athletic dudes on the edge. And stop DeAndre Swift because, again, he can't do anything if you do that. Time for the Broncos and Raiders. And the Broncos will go to Vegas to end their regular season, and their season, and of course will probably stay here for a little bit on vacation. But that will be a lot more nice for Sean Payton if this Broncos team is able to secure their first winning record since 2015. Which, let's be honest, guys, that's what he was brought in to do here in his first season. Of course, Russell Wilson, that drama, it's been a complete crap show this year and of course with that. But again, if they basically reset this offseason and get this roster the way Sean wants it, I actually think they'll be okay. You might think, why am I thinking Sean said? Because, well, Sean Payton's won a Super Bowl. And Russell Wilson did too. Was he the reason they won that Super Bowl? Seahawks fans. No. Was Sean Payton the reason? Yeah, probably. Because, again, yeah, Drew Brees. But that was a match made in heaven. Again, he's not the most successful coach in the world. But when it comes down to it, he's won a Super Bowl. He has winning teams, and they play for him, which is really what matters. Of course, his defense has been very, lackadaisical over the past couple weeks. But, of course, they got a win last week of course, they're home in their last home game of the season against the Chargers, 16-9. Again, also nice for the Raiders, who are coming off a tough loss, of course, where the Colts basically said, we're just a better team than you. And, yeah, that's kind of what happened. But, of course, you do have Aiden O'Connell running the offense. He might be their starting quarterback next year. That'll be a very interesting storyline to watch in the offseason. But, of course, they're looking to, just win a game down the season. Antonio Pierce be their head coach. I think they might have a winning record if he wins this game on the season with him as their coach. Probably should be their coach anyway. But this game will be at 4:25 on Fox. The Fox Sports app and NFL Plus will be your streaming services for this technically meaningless game. Looking at it though, Jason Meddy, of course, what is called the second, what is called for Fox CFB. He is their second team announcer. Matt Millen, of course, the former GM of the Jets, something like that. And Megan Olivi, yeah, they'll be on the call. So yeah, Fox is like replacement team. I don't freaking know. It's like one of their worst teams. That's like the best way I can put it. But of course, with all that, you gotta go look at the map. It will be in yellow. Most of Colorado, not all of it, and then obviously whatever the hell that is, and then also what is called the Vegas area in Nevada. That's what's getting this game. Of course, they played earlier in the season, all the way back in Week 1. The Raiders won that 17-16. Of course, both teams have different quarterbacks now. But with that said, let's get right into the Broncos' projected starting line. All right, Broncos, you got Jarrett Stidham at quarterback. Russell Wilson is backup. Javonte and Jalen McLaughlin in the backfield. Dwayne Washington is out. Tim Patrick, Jalen Virgil, Alex Paluski, something like that. Jonas Griffith, this dude, who's what the hell? Kalen Williams, Delarian Turner-Yell, and Caden Stearns all on IR with Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, and Marvin Mims Jr. at receiver, as well as Brandon Johnson and Lil Jordan Huffer. He had their only touchdown last week, 54-yarder. Chris Manners is out. Lucas Kroll and Adam Troutman at tight end. Michael Burton is their fullback here. Bulls, what is called Ben Powers, Lloyd Cushenberry, Quinn Miners. Mike McGlinchey's out. Cam Fleming will start, as well as Jonathan Harris, what is called DJ Jones, Zach Allen at defensive line, Nick Finito, and Baron Browning, as well as Jonathan Cooper, all healthy off the edge. Josie Jewell, Alex Singleton at linebacker, as well as Pat Surtain, Damari Mathis, and Fabian Moreau, as well as Jaquan McMillan at corner. Justin Simmons and P.J. Locke are their safeties. Will Lutz is their kicker. Their punter is Riley Dixon. Marvin Mims Jr. is their returner. And Mitchell Bonnie is their long snapper. And for Vegas, Aiden O'Connell, quarterback. Josh Jacobs is out. You see Zamir White and Amir Abdul in the backfield, though. Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, receiver. Michael Mayer is out. Austin Hooper, tight end. Jesper Horsted, Dalton Wagner, Kanea Moga, Darian Butler are both on IR, as well as, Jacob Johnson, questionable fullback. Thayer Mumford Jr. is doubtful. Colin Miller, Dylan Parham, Honor James, Graham Monroe, and Jermaine Alumber are the starting offensive linemen, though. Max Crosby, Malcolm Kuntz off the edge, as well as Bilal Nichols, Jerry Taylor at defensive tackle. Devon Diablo, Robert Plain, Luke Masterson are your linebackers. Nate Hobbs, Corian Bennett, Jack Jones, and Meek Robertson at corner. Brandon Faison is questionable, as well as Truman Mulrick and Marcus Epps at safety. Looking at this, special teams, you can first get your kicker, Daniel Carlson, A.J. Cole is your punter. DJ Carter is your returner, and Jacob Bobenmoyer is your long snapper. And we look at the Broncos offense. Jared doing what he did in Vegas in Week 17 last year, which was like 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, maybe 3. He lit up the 49ers here, though, again, as a member of the Raiders. So it kind of makes sense that he'd do that here again. Pretty crazy that he was the Raiders starters in Week 8. He was the Raiders starter here last year in Vegas in Week 18. Now it's going to be the visiting team starter, which is, again, that's pretty crazy. But yeah, whatever. Devontae fighting his demons in the this place from last year. Of course, he tore his ACL here last year. It would be very cool if he could, again, have a big game. That would be really, poetic. And, of course, and to get the winning record too. Again, you haven't had a winning record since you won one Super Bowl back with what is called. What was it? Gabe Kubiak. I literally forgot his name. How am I blanking on the coach? I'm just so blanking. Yeah, Garrett Kubiak. I'm so bad. I'm so sorry, guys. I completely blanked on that. Whatever. Yeah, that would be really good. Defensively, though, 60+ wins up front. What it's called in terms of penetration on the first half, they got to really set the tone there and show, yeah, we're just better than you, because they are. 5 more forced / opportunities for, what is called, yeah, forced in relation to turnovers. They got to basically give themselves opportunity to get a turnover. It's not like they have to recover all of them, but they got to get in good spots for them. You know, as well, no big runs from Josh Jacobs. He gets going, you're going to have a rough day if you're this defense. Because, again, it doesn't matter if he can penetrate if he's just going to blow over you guys. Time for the Raiders. Raiders offense, Josh Jacobs, what is called, going off to get the yards carry over 4. He's going to probably have to run for like 150 yards and like 7 yards per carry to actually do that, but you never know. And Aiden O'Connell being big over the middle on 3rd down as well. He's just got to be fearless there. Just put the ball in there. If it's a pick 6, so be it. This is the type of game where you should be able to take those chances. Defensively, don't fall for the motion or the intentional declines being for Max Crosby when Jarrett Stidham doesn't have his first read. That's what he's going to do. Jarrett Stidham has been taught by Sean Payton to, again, just step up in the pocket. You will have more time to throw because, again, the guy's going to overplay and step up for you. He's going to just do it even if he does have that first read because he knows the corner is going to be thinking, oh, he might run, or he's just going to, like, oh, I could be on him a little more. It's just, again, overthinking. That's what the Sean Payton is going to want them to think. They can't fall for that because, again, if they do, it's going to be a long day at the office for that. And as well, no Lil Jordan Humphrey highlights. That's just not really going to happen, so please don't let it happen. That's all I have for the Raiders, guys. Seahawks and Cardinals time. Yeah, spoiler alert. Alright, guys, I know you guys want to win, but don't win if you want a Maserati. Like, again, the Maserati's just sitting there. Like, come on. Like, actually, you don't want to win this game. Dennis Garnick going out strong. Again, he'll probably not be their starting linebacker next year. And probably be a starter on a different team. We'll see, though. And, of course, safety's carrying the load on the boundary. That would be a good idea. You do not want your corners having to play man-on-man there. And no quick plays going for 6, like, I don't know, DK Metcalf 75-yarder. That doesn't need to happen, guys. Time for the Rams and Niners, though. Also, a pretty restless game, to be honest, in this one. Alright, we're on from Seattle. Offensively, is Geno being aware under pressure again last week. Again, that cost them the game. JSN making plays in each quarter, not just the first or the third quarter. He's got to make it consistently. Tyler Lockett somehow getting over 1,000 yards. I don't know how the hell he'll do that, but again, keep the streak alive, I guess. And Charles Cross holding his own on overloads. They're going to give him a lot of those. They're going to try to get a lot of pressure on him there. Again, if he's able to, again, lock down one of those guys, picks the right guy. Again, the insider guy, you can probably let him get to Geno because, again, Geno's really good stepping up there. But he wants to get, who's the biggest threat? I got to get on him. Defensively, though, Julian Love playing slot in the off-ball weak side. C-gap fit in the fourth quarter. Again, that's basically so James Conner doesn't bounce that out or Kyler doesn't bounce it up. And also, don't give him any Murray magic. We don't need any of that, guys, especially with the playoff spot on the line, more or less. Time for the card sharp. And for the Cardinals, you got Kyler at quarterback, Clayton Tune is his backup, as well as James Conner, Michael Carter in the backfield, Marlon Mack, DJ Humphries, Pat Elflein, Marquise Brown, John Gates, Carlos Watkins, and Jonathan Ledbetter, LJ Collier, Leaky Fotu, Dante Stills, Kaiser White, Josh Woods, and Kyler McMichael, as well as Matt Hembrow on IR. James Conner, my bad. Michael Pierce, Michael Wilson, my bad. Ryan Moore, Greg Dorsey, receiver, Zach Pascal, questionable. Trey McBride, Elijah Huggins, both at tight end, as well as Calvin Beachum, Trayson Colon, Elijah Furlot, Will Hernandez, and Paris Johnson Jr. on the offensive line. Elijah Wilkinson is questionable, as well as David Collins, B. Joe Jolari, and Cam Thomas off the edge. Roy, Roy Lopez, Naquan Jones at defensive tackle. Owen Papo, Chris Barnes, Dennis Garnick is questionable, as well as Victor Demenji. You could definitely see a lot of Tyreek Smith or Jesse Luletta or something like that. Or probably more likely Ezekiel Turner starting and sub linebacker again, if neither of those guys can go. Antonio Hamilton Sr. and Keitrell Clark at corner. Charlie Thomas the fourth, of course. Faith will probably start with Garrett Williams out. Andre Stasachar or something like that is questionable. Jalen Thompson and Buda Baker at safety. Your kickers, Matt Prater. Your punters, Blake Gillikin. Greg Dortch is your returner, and Aaron Brewer is your long snapper. And for Seattle, Geno, quarterback, Drew Locks, his backup, Kenneth Walker, and Zach Charbonnet in the backfield. Kenny McIntosh is out. Diaz Critch, Phil Haynes, Mike Morris, Latrell Bumpus, this Joshua dude, Drake Thomas, Uchenna Nwosu, Jamal Adams, Jared Green, and Andrew Whitaker all on IR. Let's go DK, Tyler Lockett, JSN at receiver. Jake Bobo is also there. Noah Fant, Kobe Parkinson at tight end. Nick Flores questionable at fullback. Charles Cross, Damian Lewis, Evan Brown, Anthony Bradford. Abram Lucas is out, and Jason Peters is questionable. Storm Forsythe could start at right tackle. Well, probably, I don't know. Maybe Raekwon could start too. Draymond Jones, Leonard Williams, though, are healthy. Cameron Young will probably start with Jerry questionable. Mario Edwards and Brian Miller both out. Boyle Mafe, Gerald Taylor, Patrick O'Connell off the edges, as well as Derek Hall. Again, Jordan Brooks is questionable at linebacker. You could definitely see a lot of Devin Bush in. Bobby Wagner, of course, as well is there. Blah. Devin Witherspoon, Devon Witherspoon, Trey Brown, Rick Wolin, Michael Jackson in the corner, as well as Julian Love, H. Connor Diggs in safety. Jason Myers is your kicker. Their punter is Michael Dixon, DJ Dallas, Zach Charbonnet are the returners, and Chris Stoll is their long snap. And Seattle will wrap up their regular season also with playoff hopes, of course, with the Bears upset in Green Bay if that actually happens. But yeah, they going to Glendale again, looking to end their season with a winning record, of course, off of a tough loss last week against Pittsburgh, where their defense showed their true colors with a complete like tackling, like it was so bad. Their tackling in that game was it was god awful. But again, that performance was very demoralizing for that team. But again, if they do win, doesn't really matter, I guess. Cardinals, of course, coming off their biggest win in probably 3 years with that game over. Basically 3 years, or no, 2 years, something like that. Against actually, technically 3 years. Of course, 2 years, whatever. Against the Eagles with that win. But yeah, again, they're going to try to play spoiler again with this win against Seahawks, firmly eliminating them from the playoffs. But again, they would have to get a win to do that. And of course, what is it called? The game will be at 4:25 on Fox. The Fox Sports app and NFL Plus will be your streaming services for this game. Announcing it will be Kevin Kugler, Mark Sanchez, and Laura Oakman. So that's pretty interesting. And as well, there we go. Looking at the map, it will be in green. So you got all the Northwest as well as Arizona getting in this game. Don't ask me why the Green Bay is not getting in this game. I guess it's just not gonna. Okay. The weather, what it's called, there is no weather. We're freaking indoors. What am I saying? But, of course, 2 years ago, I think that's probably more relevant. When the Cardinals got swept last year. But, I mean, because Week 7 didn't really matter either. 2 years ago, the Cardinals had a chance to, of course, win the NFC West because the Rams choked that game against the Niners. But, of course, the Seahawks spoiled them with that 30-30 win. Of course, they were out of the playoffs picture then. We'll see if the Cardinals can flip the script with that. With that said, time for the Seahawks projected starting line. And for Seattle, Geno, quarterback, Drew Lock, his backup, Kenneth Walker, and Zach Charbonnet in the backfield. Kenny McIntosh is out. Diaz Critch, Phil Haynes, Mike Morris with Latrell Bumpus, this Joshua dude, Drake Thomas, Uchenna Nwosu, Jamal Adams, Jared Reed, and Andrew Whitaker all on IR. Let's go DK, Tyler Lockett, JSN at receiver. Jake Bobo is also there. Noah Fant, Kobe Parkinson at tight end. Nick Flores questionable at fullback. Charles Cross, Damian Lewis, Evan Brown, Anthony Bradford. Abram Lucas is out, and Jason Peters is questionable. Storm Forsythe could start at right tackle. Well, probably, I don't know. Maybe Raekwon, he could start too. Draymond Jones, Leonard Williams, though, are healthy. Cameron Young will probably start with Jerry questionable. Mario Edwards and Brian Miller both out. Boyle Mafe, Gerald Taylor, Patrick O'Connell off the edges, as well as Derek Hall. Again, Jordan Brooks is questionable at linebacker. You could definitely see a lot of Devin Bush in. Bobby Wagner, of course, as well is there. Blah. Devin Witherspoon, Devon Witherspoon, Trey Brown, Rick Wolin, Michael Jackson in the corner, as well as Julian Love, H. Connor Diggs in safety. Jason Myers is your kicker. Their punter is Michael Dixon, DJ Dallas, Zach Charbonnet are the returners, and Chris Stoll is their long snap sharp. And for the Cardinals, you got Kyler at quarterback, Clayton Tune is his backup, as well as James Conner, Michael Carter in the backfield, Marlon Mack, DJ Humphries, Pat Elflein, Marquise Brown, John Gates, Carlos Watkins, and Jonathan Ledbetter, LJ Collier, Leaky Fotu, Dante Stills, Kaiser White, Josh Woods, and Kyler McMichael, as well as Matt Hembrow on IR. James Conner, Michael Pierce, Michael Wilson, Ryan Moore, Greg Dorsey, receiver, Zach Pascal, questionable. Trey McBride, Elijah Huggins, both at tight end, as well as Calvin Beecham, Trayson Colon, Elijah Furlot, Will Hernandez, and Paris Johnson Jr. on the offensive line. Elijah Wilkinson is questionable, as well as David Collins, B. Joe Jalari, and Cam Thomas off the edge. Roy, Roy Lopez, Naquan Jones at defensive tackle. Owen Papo, Chris Barnes, Dennis Gardick is questionable, as well as Victor Demenji. You could definitely see a lot of Tyreek Smith or Jesse Luletta or something like that. Or probably more likely Ezekiel Turner starting and sub linebacker. Again, if neither of those guys can go. Antonio Hamilton Sr. and Keitrell Clark at corner. Charlie Thomas the fourth, of course. Faith will probably start with Garrett Williams out. Andre Sashachar or something like that is questionable. Jalen Thompson and Buda Baker at safety. Your kickers, Matt Prater. Your punters, Blake Gillikin. Greg Dortch is your returner, and Aaron Brewer is your long snap. All right, we're on from Seattle. Offensively, is Geno being aware under pressure again last week. Again, that cost him the game. JSN making plays in each quarter, not just the first or the third quarter. He's got to make it consistently. Tyler Lockett somehow getting over 1,000 yards. I don't know how the hell he'll do that, but again, keep the streak alive, I guess. And Charles Cross, Holding his own on overloads. They're going to be giving him a lot of those. They're going to try to get a lot of pressure on him there. Again, if he's able to, again, lock down one of those guys, picks the right guy. Again, the insider guy, you can probably let him get to Geno because, again, Geno's really good stepping up there. But once again, who's the biggest threat? I got to get on him. Defensively, though, Julian Love playing slot in the off-ball weak side. C gap fit in the fourth quarter. Again, that's basically so James Conner doesn't bounce that out or Kyler doesn't bounce it up. And also, don't give him any Murray magic. We don't need any of that, guys, especially with the playoff spot on the line, more or less. Time for the Cardinals. Alright, guys, I know you guys want to win, but don't win if you want a Maserati. Like, again, the Maserati's just sitting there. Like, come on. Actually, you don't want to win this game. Dennis Garnick going out strong. Again, he'll probably not be their starting linebacker next year. Again, probably be a starter on a different team. We'll see, though. And of course, safety's carrying the load on the boundary. That would be a good idea. You do not want your corners having to play man-on-man there. And no quick plays going for 6, like, I don't know, DK Metcalf 75-yarder. That doesn't need to happen, guys. Time for the Rams and Niners, though. Also, a pretty restless game, to be honest, in this one. And the Rams will travel to San Fran to wrap up both these teams' regular seasons, of course. Both clinching playoff spots. The Rams, of course, not want to take any risk with injuries. Will probably rest most of their starters, of course. They technically will again, they do have a shot at beating that 17 if the Packers are able to win, and they fall in this game. Niners, again, with that clinching in the 1 seed, there is a really good shot they put their starters in for that first half. Not all of them, obviously. Some guys will probably not have play. But again, most of them will play because, again, 2-week bye week. 3 weeks off is a lot. So, yeah, there's a good chance they will, of course, have their guys play at least in the first half. Again, they come in at 12-4 and get clinched to 1 seed because, again, they have all those head-to-heads. Are coming off a win against the Commanders. What is called in Maryland, where they were able to win 27-10 in a bounce-back fashion. Rams, of course, coming off a weird, wild game against the Giants, where, of course, they clinched that playoff spot with that Seattle loss to the Steelers last Sunday. But, of course, looking at the announcers for this game, you got Adam Mead, Mark Schlereth, and Christina Pink, so I guess it's a big game, even though it's kind of meaningless, okay? I guess the Rams trying to get 10-7. We really don't know what the big purpose of that is. But, of course, looking at the map for this game, it will be in blue. You got, okay, I don't know many people who live here, but okay. Of course, you got Detroit also getting this game, because I don't know, playoff spots, I guess. And also you got most of California getting this game. The weather in Santa Clara, 50 degrees, a little wind, sunny, pretty nice weather for this game. Of course, Carson Wentz returning. Of course, last time they played, last time he was here, he was in a blowout game, and yeah, he actually played pretty well, though. And obviously, for the Niners, Sam Darnold gets his first start as a Niner, so that would be pretty interesting. Time for the Rams projected starting line. If you're wondering why I'm not talking about how the Rams, what is it called, have lost 9 straight to the Niners, well, I freaking said it, guys. We've lost 9 straight in the regular season. I care? Hell no, bro. Well, I do, but still. This would be a good game to not have that happen. Matt Stafford, Connor Williams, Cooper Kupp are all not going to play. Carson Wentz will start for the Rams, getting his first start as a Ram. Ronnie Rivers, Royce Freeman will be interesting in the backfield. Tutu Puka and DeMarcus Robinson will start at receiver. You'll definitely see a lot of bench Chronic. Tyler Johnson will guarantee you will be a guy that Carson Wentz will get the football to a lot in this game. Tyler Higbee, of course, is doubtful as well. Again, he'll probably not play. Davis Allen, Bryson Hopkins will get some opportunities at tight end. But again, Puka Nacua trying to break that record. He needs 4 catches, 29 yards to break not only the reception records in 17 games for Jalen Waddle back in 2021, but also Bill Roman's, freaking 50-year receiving yards record, rookie receiving yards record, all the way since 1960. Hunter Long and Sean Jolly Duke Shelley, as well as Alex Ward are on IR. Albert Jackson, Steve Avila, Brian Allen, Kevin Dotson, Rob Havenson across the offensive line are all ready to go. Joe Noteboom is doubtful. Coleman Shell, and I guarantee you will get in this game at some point, as well as Tremaine Ingram Jr. and maybe even Warren McClendon Jr. I'm concerned because I don't want anyone getting hurt. I'm looking at this offensive line, though. Meanwhile, for this defense, you got Jonah Williams, Kobe Turner, Aaron Donald's doubtful, of course, so because he's going to rest. Honestly, I want Desmond Johnson to start. Larry Murchison, of course, will probably get a lot more snaps in the playoffs, but we'll see, though. Ernest Jones is doubtful. Troy Anderson, Reader will probably start again with him resting, as well as Jake Hummel. Christian Roseman, some pretty good opportunities there. Brian Young, Michael Hoyt will probably play the first half. I'm very interested to see what O'Shane Mathis and Nick Hampton can do. Kel Witherspoon, Darren Kendrick, Trey Tomlinson, and Kobe Durant. Again, all those guys will play a lot. Of course, Rusty's will get a lot of playing time once Jordan Fuller is probably gone after the first quarter. Quentin Lake, I would not be surprised if he plays most of this game, though. Yeah, that's just the simple truth about it. But Brett Maher is their kicker, their punters, Ethan Evans, Austin Trammell is their returner, and Carson Tinker's their long. And for the Niners, Brock Purdy, quarterback Sam Darnold, again, will probably start. I don't know, they're going to figure something out there. Brock Purdy, again, probably will play a little bit, I guess. I'm going to say Sam Darnold should start. We'll see, though. Elijah Mitchell, Jordan Mason in the backfield, though. Of course, CMC with the calf. He'll probably not play anyway. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk likely will probably be in there for the first quarter. Juwan Jennings is questionable anyway. Chris Conley, Ronnie Bill at tight end, though. Danny Gray, Raymond McLeod, Nick, whatever this dude's name is, Drake London, Khalil Davis, Taluna Hufanga, George Odom, and yeah, those dudes are on IR. You'll definitely see a lot of George Kittle in the first quarter, though. Kyle Juszczyk at fullback. The offensive line will probably play a little bit. Again, John Feliciano's questionable. Ben Barch, Jalen Moore, and Matt Prater, the only healthy backups, though, so that'll be interesting. Chase Young, Nick Bosa off the edge. Again, probably only going to play at the first quarter as well as Javon Cargrave. Eric Armstead will be out for this game, so Sebastian Joseph, Dave Former Ram, and Javon Kinlaw will get some good cracks at it. Trey Greenlaw, Fred Warner, and Oren Burks at linebacker. Travarius Ward, Isaiah Oliver, Giammo Lenore at corner, as well as Ambry Thomas being out. Both starting safeties are out as well, so Logan Ryan, I guess, will be the only healthy safety. Jake Moody is your kicker. Your punter is Mitch Wishnowski. Ronnie Bell, Deebo Samuel, our returner, and Tabor Pepper is your long snap. All right, Rams offensively, Carson doing what he did last year in the whole game. Of course, I'll show you his numbers from that game. Was it 2022? Yeah. All right, in this game, Carson Wentz threw 122 yards and a touchdown, 12-20-16 in, like, the fourth quarter. This game was a blowout. Like, I'm not even kidding. This was, like, a bad game. But, yeah, he came in and he played well. So, yeah, that's what I want Carson to do. Do it the whole game here in San Fran. And also, Taylor giving another option. Again, if the Rams want to use him in the playoffs, this is the game to show it. And, obviously, Puka for the getting the records. That's really, again, that's probably the biggest thing you want out of this game. And as well, Carson Wentz showing he can, again, do what he can here in this game. That's what I want to see from this offense. Defensively, though, what is it called? Don't give up 30 to Sam freaking Darnold. Yeah, that would be really annoying. Like, again, we already lost to him when they were 0-13, which I'm honestly not bad about because, to be completely honest, we probably wouldn't have won the Super Bowl if that didn't happen. Trey Tomlinson, being confident, and, man, I want to see what he can do again. What is it called, at TCU. That was really his job, be that man corner. I want to see him be able to do that in the slot in this game. And figure out, punt coverage. Actually get the guy to the damn ground. It's that punt coverage is so bad. That's really the only goal of this. Honestly, if the Rams do one thing in this game, it's they do a really good job or a competent job in what is called punt coverage. That's all I want to see from this Rams team. Let's talk about the Niners. For San Fran, Jordan Mason, 100-plus rushing yards. Again, they want to get him going, see if they get another third back, because, again, they don't want third number two, the top two guys both getting hurt. Have the starters play in the first half as well. No one get being too flat for the playoffs. And as well, Brock not getting hurt, that's probably the biggest one. If he doesn't get hurt, I think they'll be fine. Defensively, though, bring the heat and try to some shenanigans on third for the playoffs again, because, again, if it does work, they could make some big plays there, especially, again, when they're leading. But if this defense can get even more packages for blitzes, they'll be so good in the playoffs. And figure out what the hell what the game's gonna look like in the first quarter. Because again, if it's close, you're gonna be like, okay, we'll see how it goes. But again, if the game's like, oh god, the Rams are gonna start taking shots on us, again, just take those little adjustments. Again, you gotta make it serious. Because again, in the playoffs, you're gonna have to make the same type of thing. Because again, think of it crucially. So again, you're ready for it when it happens in the playoffs. Because it will. You're gonna get challenged in the playoffs for sure. Now let's get to our make or break game. Packers, same situation as last year. They're gonna choke it again. Let's go. Lambeau Field. Last wildcard spot is on the line, guys. Packers are looking to win it. Are the Bears going to end their season like the Detroit did last year? Well, awfully similar gameplay. But yeah, this game's at 4:25 instead of that the Sunday nighter to end the season. Whatever, though. Let's go. Doubleheader day. Game 2 on CB. Alright, and the Bears will head to Lambeau looking to spoil the Packers season. Of course, they come in at 7-9 winners of 4 of their last 5 and are one of the more scarier teams to end this season. Of course, they were eliminated last week due to, because they had such a bad start to the season. But the fact they are here now and are thinking, oh yeah, Justin Fields should be our quarterback next year is a good thing. Very similar to that Detroit team last year, who, of course, started the season 1-6 and ended up in, of course, a spot now where they are the NFC North champs just a year later. And well, of course, we get to that scenario later. But, yeah, Packers coming off their probably most well-rounded performance of the season since that, honestly, even that Week 1 win. The most well-rounded performance of the season, of course, where Jordan Love had 4 total touchdowns. It was a complete spanking of the Vikings, as usual there. But it comes down to this game, guys. Packers choke. Well, they're not going to do well. And if they win, there's a shot they're at the 6th seed going to what is called Detroit next week, which will be very funny. But either way, this game will be at 4:25 on CBS. Envo Plus and Paramount Plus will be your streaming services for this national game. Of course, with it being a national game, you do have Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson on the call, Steve Levy, and Max Starks calling the game on ESPN Radio. Of course, this is a big game in a lot of different ways. For many teams, because again, if they lose, there's a lot of doors open. But, of course, it is in red. You got the whole entire country basically in this game. Of course, New England is different. But a lot of the country will be getting this football game. And, yeah. The weather in Lambeau will be 34 degrees, so pretty chilly. A little wind at 7 miles per hour, mostly cloudy, of course. Justin Fields has struggled in Lambeau in the past. But again, he played in Week 14 2 years ago, threw a pick six. We'll see what happens in this game, though. Of course, though, the Packers found themselves in the exact same scenario last year where they needed a win in Week 18 scenario. But, of course, they lost to the Lions, so that was hilarious. But now, of course, the Bears, they're looking to do what the Lions did last year. Of course, with that said, time for the Bears' projected starting lineup. And for the best, Justin Fields, the quarterback. Tyson Bagent is his backup. Khalil Herbert is questionable. Roschon Johnson will probably start. DJ Moore, Tyler Scott, and Equanimeous St. Brown at receiver. Darnell Mooney is out. Joe Reed will be on IR. Cole Kmet is questionable tight end, so Robert Smith, Tunyon will start. Let's go. Kari Blaspham game at fullback. Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins, Lucas Patrick is questionable. Dan Feeney behind him, as well as, Nate Davis and Darnell Wright rounding out that offensive line. Defensively, you got DeMarcus Walker, Andrew Billings, Justin Jones, and Montez Sweat starting. Yannick Ngakoue is on IR, as well as Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, and Jackson Thornmore. So typical middle linebacker group. Jalen Johnson, though, is doubtful. So that they're not a superstar corner. So a lot of Tyreek Stevenson and Terrell Smith in this game. Then, of course, Kyler Gordon, their other starting cornerback, is questionable. Eddie Jackson and Jaquan Brisker are their safeties. Cario Santos is their kicker. Trent Gill's their punter. Trent and Tyler are the returners. And Patrick Scales is questionable at long. And for the Packers, okay, Jordan Love, quarterback. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon is out. Patrick Taylor also in the backfield. Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, and Dontavian Wicks are all questionable. Romeo Dobbs is really the only healthy starting receiver. Samari Torre, Emmanuel Wilson, Luke Musgrave, David Bakhtiari, Luke Tenuta, Eric Stokes, those dudes are on IR. The offensive line is the normal starters, but of course, Elton Jenkins, their only other guy is questionable. Royce Newman will probably start. Kenny Clark, TJ Slayton, Devontae Wyatt are across the defensive line. Preston Smith is questionable off the edge. Lucas Vaness will probably start, as well as Rashawn Gary. Isaiah McDuffie, the backup linebacker, is doubtful, but again, Quay and Devondre Campbell both look dominant like they did back in Week 1. Jair's back from the suspension, as well as Carrington Valentine on the other side. Keyshawn Nixon, of course, will probably play the slot. Ruby Ford is out. Jonathan Owens and Arnold Savage are your safeties. Of course, Anders Carlson is your kicker. Your punter is Daniel Willman. With Jaden Reed questionable, we could see a lot of Keyshawn Nixon, as well as Matt Orzik doing your loans now. For the Bears, 2+ bombs from Justin on the second down play. On second down play action design, I want him to really take some shots and chances here again. They might not end super well, but again, an arm punt is better than a pick six. The running game with a 65% of success rate in the red zone, which is super high, but they're going to need that if they want to be able to score touchdowns in this game. And Carlos Santos sitting a 60-yarder just for kicks, and also, again, probably to nail this game in the coffin. Bears defense harassed Jordan Love with nips on wide tracks taken from Montez and DeMarcus Walker. Those are going to take a while to develop, which means these corners are going to have to play really well in this game. But they're able to do that. Jordan Love is just going to have some really paranoid dropbacks where he's not going to be focusing downfield, and you might force him to throw a pick. And speaking of that, Jalen Johnson, even though, again, he's doubtful if he can't play, ending his great year with interception would be a very good way to end this thing. Now let's look at the Packers. All right, Packers offense, take the punch early and run with it. They're going to get a couple, big hits on these receivers or up front from this Bears defense because, again, they are tenacious. They got to be ready for it and respond. One way to do that is getting the ball to Aaron Jones, who, of course, had a monster game in that Week 1 win. Get the ball back to him this week. And, of course, Jordan has to be good on the boundary in the second half. You can't miss those throws. A couple high ones won't be the worst, but, again, if he misses a guy, it'll be going the other way. Defensively, though, don't blow it. It's simple as that. If they just don't suck, I think they have a really good shot at winning because this offense has been so good. And, also, you guys can't be as bad as you were, again, a couple weeks ago. That's all I got for the Packers, though. Let's get to America's Game of the Week. Dallas, are they going to be like that like they were last year here? I don't know. It's America's Game of the Week in Landover to end the season for the second straight year. Let's go, guys. And the last America's Game of the Week, again, kind of the regular season, we do have an NFC East clinching scenario as the Cowboys look to clinch the NFC East with a win over the Washington Commanders in Landover, Maryland. Commanders, of course, have been one of the worst teams in the league all year. They come in at 4-12. They're terrible. They want to get that number 2 pick for sure. This game, though, will be at 4:25 on Fox Sports App, and NFL Plus, because, again, it is America's Game of the Week. The Commanders, again, look at it, back in 2019, they did clinch that number 2 seed, of course, a number 2 pick with that blowout, ugly loss, the 47-16 loss in Dallas, but obviously didn't matter because the Cowboys always missed the playoffs anyway. But for this game, again, Cowboys coming off a very lucky and ref gifting win over the Detroit Lions in last Saturday. Of course, having a little bit of a longer week. Commanders, again, are coming off a loss in which they went down soundly to the San Francisco 49ers. Looking at the announcers for this game, of course, you got Kevin Burkhardt, Greg Olsen, Aaron Anderson, Tom Rinaldi, of course, is Fox's #1 team. They'll probably be at the Cowboys game next week, too. Looking at, though, the map, it is in red. The whole entire east coast of the country is getting this game. Then it gets kind of messy once you get to, like, the Mountain West. So, outside of that, guys, most of the country's getting this game. The weather in Landover, though, 47 degrees, a ton of wind, partly cloudy. So, not the most dynamic weather for any team. So, that's great. But, of course, the big context in this game is that the Commanders last year, yeah, they were a much better team last year than they were this year. That's how bad they are this year. They won 26-6, though, with Sam Howell. So, I don't know. Maybe he owns them. You know, yeah, could say. Again, they also got blown out on Thanksgiving to this team. So, Deron Bland pick 6? Who knows? Time for the Cowboys to predict the starting lineup. And for Dallas Stackry will start. Of course, his backup is Cooper Rush, Tony Pollard, Rico Dowdle in the backfield, Deuce Vaughn, David Durden, Sean McKeon, LVE, DeMarvin Overshown, CJ Goodwin, Trayvon Diggs, Deuce Vaughn. Again, all those dudes are on IR. What it's called, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, and Michael Gallup, receiver Jake Ferguson, Payne Henderson at tight end. Hunter Lubicki is their fullback. Tyron Smith, Smith, and Tyler Biadasz, both are questionable on the offensive line. Zach Morrow and Terrence Steele are healthy though. Defensively, basically the same old dudes. The only difference is that DeMarcus, Dorrance Armstrong and Jonathan Hankins are both questionable. Mozzie Smith will start if again Jonathan Hankins can't go. Sam Williams anyway, as well as Dante Fowler Jr. will get some playing time. Chauncey Golson's also questionable. Linebackers are as usual, of course, Micah there. Stephon Gilmore, Deron Bland will start. Nation on the right, I think, will actually start in the slot this week. You'll see a lot of Jordan Lewis anyway, though. Willie Cooker's questionable, as well as Jawani Thomas. Don Wilson, I guess, is going to get started because, again, how well he played last week, as well as Jalen Curse, strong safety. CJ Goodwin and Trayvon Diggs are both still on IR, though. Again, Brandon Aubrey is their kicker. Their punters, Brian Anger, Kamati Turbin's a returner, as well as Trent Sieg doing their long snap. And for Washington, Sam Howell will, of course, start, but, of course, he leads the league in the interception. What the hell was that? All right, though. Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. As his backup, Brian Robinson Jr., Antonio Gibson, Eric Gore, I guess, in the backfield. Chris Rodriguez Jr., Dax Milne, Braden Daniels, Curtis Hodges, Ricky Stromberg, Charles Leno Jr., Tyler Larson, F.A. Obata, Curtis Brooks, David Bada, Shaq Tony, Kendall Fuller, Jamin Davis, Jeremy Reeves, Derek Forrest, and Percy Butler, all on IR. Oh yeah, I was going to mention, Sam Howell now has the most interceptions thrown in the season, so since way back, of course, the 30 season in 2019, of course, basically pre-COVID from, Jameis Winston. But Terry McLaurin, John Dotson, basically the normal dudes are receiver. Logan Thomas, tight end, Alex Arma. The whole offensive line is healthy except Trent Scott will be in line to start if Andrew Wiley, who is questionable, is not ready to go. Defensively, again, Jonathan Allen will probably not is going to be out, so we'll see a lot of Phildarian Mathis, of course, who hasn't really gotten much playing time this year because, again, of course, that second-round pick out of Alabama in 2022, he was actually very disruptive in a couple games he played. Then he got injured, and he really hasn't been healthy all year, so I'll be very interested to see what he can do. Casey Jewell's questionable off the edge, though. Joshua Pryor, I mean, this is the most pathetic edge rushing group in the league. Holy crap. The linebackers are, as usual, very bad. Jartavius Martin, Benjamin St-Juste, and, I guess that's who's there. Where's Jamin Davis? Oh, where is he, bro? Where did Jamin Davis go? I think he's injured. That's why. Oh, no, there he is. Jamin Davis is good, but that's about it. Jartavius Martin will start a corner. That's a mess. Benjamin St-Juste, holy crap, guys. This secondary is so bad. Cameron Curl's questionable, too. Again, the Cowboys are about 50 on this defense. Joey Sly is your kicker, your punter is Tress Way. Jameson Crowder, Antonio Gibson are your returners. And Tucker Addington. Oh, this guy's young, right? Yeah, I'd say in Houston. He's your returner. Or no, your long snapper. What the? For the Cowboys offense, anything but last year, in one or less picks from Dak. Again, he wants to stay under that 10 interception total he said he would at the beginning of the season. Well, don't throw 2 picks and you should be fine. Defensively, keep Sam in the pocket. Please don't let him run around. That's how he'll kill you. Again, he'll run the ball on you guys. No big day from Terry McLaurin. He had that one game last year. And under 220 total yards allowed unless you're up by 20 going into the fourth quarter, which basically just means garbage time numbers. But again, if this game's close, they just can't have that happen. Again, that would just be really bad. Now, let's talk about the Commanders. Again, the Cowboys is pretty self-explanatory. Don't freaking blow this game. Commanders offense, take care of the damn football. Please, it's annoying. And maybe you ruin your tank. That would be hilarious. Defensively, though, 16+ points set up for the offense. That's really what you got to do. That counts as field goals too. And show why you guys are the worst. Like literally give up 80 points. Oh, okay. Enough of this BS, guys. Time for the game of the week. It comes down to this, guys. Playoff lives on the live Buffalo. It's been 5 years since we've had a game like this. Yes, it is the AFC East Championship, and the Bills playoffs are on the line, guys. Also the 2 seed, too. Let's go. Sunday Night Football, AFC East Champion. AFC's championship on Sunday Night Football. Oh crap, this is a huge game. Dolphins looking to hang on for dear life in this division. Of course, they were up by like 3 games at one point, something ridiculous like that. But the Bills, on the other hand, yeah, they have a shot from going to winning this division and being the 2 seed in the AFC, having home field throughout until the AFC championship. Wow. Also having a chance to miss the playoffs entirely. So, yeah, it's basically a playoff game, and it's a massive game, because not only the Bills want to make it 4 straight years winning the AFC East, but also, again, the playoffs are on the line for them. Of course, winners of 4 in a row, they've dug themselves out of this hole. It hasn't been all pretty. It's been more or less running game and our defense playing out of our blowing something out of our butts, which is really what it has been. But of course, they are coming off a win to get double-digit wins for the 5th straight year, something like that. Of course, Josh Allen was pretty ugly against the Patriots, but they were able to still get it done because of a pick 6 from their superstar corner now in Rasul Douglas. Dolphins are 11-5. They are coming off a humiliating loss to the Ravens, of course, which knocked their chances at number 1 seed and also clinching the division early off, so they do have to play this week. Of course, they are also very banged up without their number 1 and their number 2 pass rusher, who have both stepped up this year and, of course, are out for the season. This game, of course, is always for Sunday Night Football. It will be at 8:20 on NBC, what is called Peacock as well. It might just say NBC, but it's also Peacock. NBC Sports app, NFL Plus. Again, it's the whole thing. Universo too, guys. It's just everything. Because again, as well, Full On America will start at 7 Eastern on NBC. Again, you'll get to see the whole thing. I think Applebee's is doing some free giveaway as well for this game. But again, after the game, you can watch Sunday Night Football Final until from 11:30 to 12:30 in the morning. They'll get you all ready set for the playoffs. Of course, after this game ends, again, because it is game 272, the last game of the NFL season. Oh my god, this is a crazy game. Announcing it, though, of course, will be Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, and Milton Stark, who also, I think, will be opening the playoffs. Well, we'll see how the schedule opens, but they might be the crew that will open the playoffs. Or it'll be on Noah Eagle, like 2 weeks ago, because that's basically what it's going to be if you didn't know. The first Saturday of the NFL playoffs, of course, the NFL Super Bowl could be getting that Saturday, will be an NBC/Peacock wildcard doubleheader. Ryan Radjic, Mike Golick will be on Westwood 1. No, that's not the right weather. I got it from Miami Gardens, my bad. There we go. Miami Gardens weather. There we go. All right. That's perfect. Okay. Cloudy, 10-mile-per-hour wind, 64 degrees. So, pretty close to that Monday night weather. I think it won't be as hot, though. So, that's pretty good, though. But again, the stage is set, guys. Winner of this game wins the whole dang division. And obviously, the Bills playing for their playoff chances, guys. Time for the Bills to predict the starting lineup now. And for Buffalo, Josh Allen at quarterback. What is it called? James Cook and Latavius Murray in the backfield. Ty Johnson will also be there. What is it called? Damian Harris, Zach Davidson, Tommy Doyle, Justin Shorter, Jordan Phillips, Tre'Davious White, Matt Milano, all on IR with Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, close to Shakir at receiver, Dalton Kincaid, tight end, and Dawson Knox, of course. Reggie Gilliam is their fullback, Deion Dawkins, David Edwards, what is called Mitch Morse is questionable, Ryan Bates behind him, Osiris Torrance, and Spencer Brown round up the offensive line. Gregor's, again, basically the same entire defensive line. Tyrell Dotson, Terrell Bernard, Dorian Williams, all at linebacker. Teron Johnson, Dane Jackson, Christian Benford, Rasul Douglas, all at corner. Micah Hyde and Jordan Player are at safety. Tyler Bass is their kicker. Their punter, Sam Martin, Deontay Hardy, Ty Johnson are the returners, and Reed Ferguson is their long snapper. Oh yeah, guys, just so you know, if you're asking what happened to Von Miller, well, it's pretty simple. He got old. Like, he's old. Like, again, that torn ACL, that probably was the last we saw of Von Miller, guys. I mean, at least he's like an elite player. But I won't say rest in peace, because, again, that would be really bad. But, yeah. Von Miller, again, we'll see what he can do in the playoffs. But, yeah, again, he's more of a leader on this team now. Let's get right into the Dolphins. And for the Dolphins, too, at quarterback, Mike White is his backup. Of course, you got Devon Achane, Jeff Wilson Jr. in the backfield, Raheem Mostert's questionable. Tyreek Hill, Cedric Wilson Jr., Braxton Miller the receiver. Jalen Waddle is also questionable. Eric Uzekama is out. Jerome Smith, Julian Hill at tight end. Alec Ingold is your fullback. Teron Armstead, let's go. Robert Jones, Liam Eichenberg, Robert Hunt, and Alec Jackson across your offensive line. With what is called Isaiah Wynn, Connor Williams, Jerome Baker, Keon Crossan, Zeke Van Luckenberg, Jalen Phillips, and Bradley Chubb all on IR. Christian Wilkins, Raekwon Davis, Zach Sealer are your linebackers, as well as Andrew Van Ginkel and Cameron Goody off the edge. Duke Riley, David Long Jr. are your linebackers, with Xavier Howard out. See a lot of Eli Apple, Cater K out, and Jalen Ramsey. Javon Holland, Deshaun Elliott are your safeties. Jason Kelsey Sanders is your kicker. Your punter is Jake Bailey. Braxton Barrows is your returner, and Blake Ferguson is your long. All right, first for this Bills offense, Josh not messing around like last year. You watch him again. Yes, he had over 400 total yards in that game, but he also again passed up a lot of open receivers, and it was really hard for this offense to really get any sort of consistency going. That's really why they put up under 20. James Cook, 35 touches, getting the football line this game, guys. Lean on him. He will be this offense's back foot in this game. Defensively, looking at the at Stephon Diggs, showing some life for the first time in a month. We haven't seen him do anything, guys. This is the game where he has to do it. Of course, we talked about it last week, too. This is the game. Defensively, though, Greg Rousseau faking his up swat and going over the outside arm with his inside arm. That is a very complex move that he has been able to show display, at least somewhat. He's got to use that a lot in this game, though, because, again, that's just a really hard move for an offensive lineman to adjust to. Jordan Blair knocking Raheem at the hip as well. Again, he might bounce off of it a couple times, but it'll be laterally, and again, he has to readjust to get his speed going again. He's not some guy, again, no one will be able to do that again. Knocking him backwards, you will have other guys there to make plays. That's what Jordan Blair needs to do in this football game. Now let's wrap this thing up with all right, Dolphins offense. Tua he has to have some improv going again. With Tyreek Hill being the only true guy in this game offensively, he's gonna have to make big plays. 200+ rushing yards as well. They're gonna have to run the ball really well in this game. And A-Chain going choo-choo from 90+ yards out. That would be awesome. Defensively though, the zone thing, what is it called? The thingamajig from last year, that worked really well against Josh Allen. Convenient at the line, at the line on the cutback, and they're going to get a lot of those from James Cook. Do not give him the football, let him do anything there. And Jalen making 4+ game-changing plays. That's what he's the dude. That's all I got to say, guys. And that's really all I got for this game, guys. Of course, the NFL playoffs are on the horizon, and that's all I got for the NFL Week 18 season finale Sunday preview. Hope you guys enjoy all the games. Again, the AFC East Championship, from that all the way to a tank bowl of the Jets Patriots. But until tomorrow, guys, see you for the recap. Again, we'll see what the playoff picture looks like tomorrow. But again, ton of spots on the line. It's the season finale on this Sunday. See you tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoy the game.
Dangerous thing. One worked out. They both worked out, but they were close. Allen faking the handoff. He's going to swing it again towards the end zone. Wide open.